Well, well, well. Jerry and Stephen Jones have some things to say about Marshawn Kneeland that I think we all need to hear. But I also want to give a shout out and a thanks to all the veterans, whether you're somebody in your family, whether you're live or whether you catch this on the replay. Just always want to give an appreciation to the veterans because everybody thinks that freedom, they don't understand that freedom is never free. Somebody has fought for it. Somebody has given up their life for it. And I never take it for granted. I always appreciate it. Even when I don't agree with people and things they say and do, I will always still stand up for the freedom of people to do the things that they want to do as long as they are not harming others. So excited about today's show. Salute to your veterans. And let's hear this thing that the Cowboys got about Marshawn Kneeland. And then we're going to let all of that go into football because life is bigger than football. But understand that football is also a part of life. Let's go. Yep. Let's go. It's all life. We got to all work it. We got to work it all in together. We got to prioritize, but we got to understand we're all working through this thing called life. Excited about the second half of the Dallas Cowboys season, even though I don't necessarily love how it began. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G. Salute to all you veterans out there. As you come into this live stream, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live, and we are live. I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, and we are about to talk facts. Man, we got a great show for today. Probably gonna go for about a couple of hours, and then we're gonna get back full speed come Thursday. I'm gonna come on a little early tomorrow because y'all know I gotta go teach about the Lord. But we're gonna get knee deep into this thing on Thursday for sure. Cowboys are playing on a Monday night. A lot of big things going on with the Cowboys, if you ask me. So, let me give you today's show. We're gonna listen to Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan. And I'm very interested in this one. I did not listen to it, but I do know that he talked some about Marshawn Kneeland, and so I want to talk about that. We're also going to work into this and Stephen Jones, because our next interview we'll hear will be Stephen Jones, and Stephen Jones had some great things to say about Marshawn Kneeland and also about the Dallas Cowboys. So we're going to work in the plans the Cowboys have for Marshawn Kneeland into these two segments. And activated. The Cowboys have officially activated Demarion Overshown and Savone Revel Jr. I have a video out there right now that's playing, and it's doing pretty good. And in case you haven't seen that video, I will actually talk about, or I'll let you hear Savone Revel Jr.'s father, man. And he is hyped up, and I don't blame him. He is hyped up about his son making his debut against the Las Vegas Raiders. And I'm excited for him. I'm excited for Revel Jr., and I'm excited for the Cowboys. And then as we talk about the Cowboys defense, we'll let that kind of bleed over into our last segment about the Cowboys defense, kind of some of the things that maybe we can expect, maybe what we need to be looking forward to. And what we're going to look at is the 5-2 defense. I want to take a look at the 5-2 defense, kind of show you what that looks like, and kind of look at how this is going to affect the Cowboys and why it's going to help the Cowboys achieve some things that they haven't been able to achieve in the first half of the season. So, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, activated, and the 5-2 defense. Let's go! All right, let's get a quick roll call in and get this show on the road. Big Rombowski, appreciate that super chat. It's time to talk some Cowboys, Big Rombowski. Derek Grimsley, what's going on? He said, gee, I think people are going to regret saying Jerry doesn't care about winning. Yeah, but they'll never tell me I was right, Derek Grimsley. It's amazing to me how people were hating on Jerry Jones and hating on me for not hating Jerry Jones, only for them now to be singing Jerry Jones's praises as if they've always been singing Jerry Jones' praises. Okay. People, I let people be people. I told people Jerry cares about winning and he's showing it. John Jones, what's going on? He said, what up, G Money? I'll tell you some New Jack City. Doomsday Cowboys up in this thing. Yeah, we are in the process of rebuilding. And I'm telling you, we are on a great path, a great trajectory. Jaden Justin, gotta tell you, G, I'm excited to see what this team can put together Monday. Man, let me tell you something, Jaden Justin. Matt Eberflus, I'm not saying Matt Eberflus has to come out and hold the Raiders to 100 yards, but he better wow us with these players he got now. He better wow us, Jaden. Sub-Zero Prime, what's going on? That Sex Guy, what's going on? I said it in my top 10. That Sex Guy is number 1. We got to dedicate the rest of this season and next season, if you ask me, to Marshawn Kneeland. What's going on? Vato, what up? Dominique Pittman in the house, what up? Big time 1262, Ty Howard, Lord Nova, in here. What's going on? Big Moss Dog, what's going on? Brandon Cup. Freedom cost, it's never free. C. Burleson, what up with your salute? Clifford, Hyler, what's going on? He said, I want to thank my mom and my sister. I'm grateful for your service. Amen. It is the Queen. What's going on, Queen Jackson? Good to see you. Daniel M., my right-hand man, back in this thing. Big Boss Dog said hit that like button. I'm with you. Share this content. He said he is back. Daniel M. said he's back. Mose Logan, what's going on? He said rest in peace to his father, served this country. Yes, sir, Mose Logan. Salute to your father, salute to you. Rodney Evans, what is going on with you? Good to see you. William Dansby. Hey, I understand, Daniel. Needed a moment last week. We all did. William Dansby, what's going on? Cowboys fan from Alabama. My sister Nisi, what's going on? She said, happy Veterans Day. David Duval up in here. All is well. Yes, all is well. Brandon said we got to get David Bailey. On offense, we need a backup quarterback, maybe running back and right tackle. And that we should draft all defense. Yes. Mostly DBs and edge rusher, but I'm excited. Yeah. Mad Main up in this thing. Hey, has plans for Kneeland. He died, but they got plans to honor his memories. So I appreciate what they're doing. We're going to talk about it. Mr. 72 Chevelle in this thing. What's going on? Kippy, what's going on with you, Kippy? Let's go. It's time to talk Cowboys. Bam Bam Gaines up in this thing. Let's go. Lock and D. Cowboys practice tomorrow. It's time to get back to football. I'm excited. Hey, Nisi, this gonna be one of the most exciting games it's probably gonna be the most exciting game of the season. And I'm gonna tell you, Nisi, we need one. Because these last few Monday night and Thursday night games have been trash. These games been trash. Man, people running around, oh, it was a defensive battle last night. No, it wasn't. We just saw trash. We saw trash quarterback play, trash wide receiver play on the half of the Green Bay Packers. I mean, the defenses didn't make as many stops as people think they did. It was just trash. We need some points. We need some big plays. We need some defense by the Cowboys. AC Raptor, let me speed it up. AC Raptor in this thing. Shaft Tough in this thing. Bass is back in here. What's going on? Ronnie Dub, Whiskey Weenies, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's get this show started. Appreciate you, Brandon Cobb. He said you're Slang it, G. He said he got mad love. I got mad love for y'all too. I appreciate you. Nisa said McCarthy had to turn in his play sheet to Jerry before the game. He needs to make Flus turn in that book report, a.k.a. play sheet. Before the game. You ain't lying, because with him, it's got to be a book report. My man Kevin Elvis up in this thing. Kevin Elvis, what's going on? Good to see you. Duck face, quack, quack, what's going on? Let's get this thing rocking and rolling. I got the hook. I see you. I got the hook is in here too. Ron Mack is in here. Let's go. All right, let me read something here. Daniel says inserting 6 players on defense could help the Cowboys. It is. Quinnen and Logan. Now, we're going to talk about defense in a moment, Daniel. But Quinnen and Logan, man, let me tell you something. Those 2 players right there, those are the players who I think they are going to flash this coming Monday. They're going to flash next Monday night. Now, as far as Demarion Overshown, Revel, I'm going to temper my expectations on them. Revel hasn't played in 14 months. Demarion Overshown hasn't played since last November. Last November. We hadn't seen him in a year. Hooker and Donovan Wilson, I mean, man, we got to be honest. They were not playing good. They were not playing good before they got hurt. They were not playing good before they got hurt, so we'll see what happens. And I don't think they're getting Diggs back. I don't think they're getting Diggs back. I haven't heard heads or tails on it. I don't think they're getting Diggs back. And I'll be honest with you. I'm just saying this for the sake of the Cowboys and Trayvon Diggs. This has nothing to do with Trayvon Diggs' hate. I don't see what Trayvon Diggs can do for us this year. What Trayvon Diggs can do for us this year. I just don't see what he can do. Go ahead and move on from Trayvon Diggs because you're not going to keep Trayvon Diggs after this season. Move on from Trayvon Diggs. If I were Trayvon Diggs, I would do exactly what DeMarcus Lawrence did. Don't come back this season. It is your career. Get your body right. Let your knees totally heal. Get your body right. Continue rehab and be ready for next season. Man, Diggs got a lot to lose. People don't understand this. People don't understand common sense because they get in their feelings. People don't understand common sense. Trayvon Diggs has a lot to lose. What does he gain coming back and playing hurt or not being 100% and just continuously risking more damage? What if he suffers another injury of the last 3 or 4 games of the season? No, don't do it. You're getting your money anyway. I'm telling y'all, the Bible is right 100% of the time. Pride comes before the fall. He tried to come back early. It did not work out. It's amazing to me how people go radio silent. They go radio silent when things fit their narrative, and then when their narrative is destroyed, they go radio silent. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Diggs should have never came back early. Should have never came back early. You don't hit that field until you are 100%, especially in a season where it is literally the last year of your contract. Yeah, Diggs has more years, no more guaranteed money. He would be foolish. He would be foolish to go back out there for the Cowboys, especially if he's not 100%. There is so much bad blood between the Cowboys and Trayvon Diggs. Bro, it would just be better to man, Diggs, sit it out, bro. Sit it out. It's not even about performance even. It is your career. Man, look at DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence, man, tell me anything you want to about that doggone Michael Parsons trade. But this dude, DeMarcus Lawrence, is out there, man. It could be argued he out there looking better. He out there looking better than Michael Parsons. It could be argued. But the reason why is he let his body get healthy. He knew he wasn't playing with the Cowboys one more year. He knew he wasn't playing. So why come back? It don't make sense. And the people who get all in their feelings, oh, you just hating on Diggs. You don't know what you're talking about. The Cowboys and Diggs need to move on from each other. And I don't think I'll be surprised if he don't come back. I'm sorry. I'll be surprised if he comes back. I'll be surprised if he comes back. I just don't think he should. It don't make sense. We're not keeping him next year. So why even bring him back for 4 games? No. Diggs, I'm just telling you, Diggs, if you ever hear me, I'm just telling you, you need some people to talk some common sense to you, bro. Don't come back. Don't come back, bro. You need to be thinking about the rest of your career because it ends in Dallas after this season. It ends in Dallas after this season. Bottom line. Bottom line. Madman said, we don't need Diggs back. He can't stop anything. Madman, you said it, I didn't. But Madman, a part of this could be because Diggs ain't healthy. And Diggs has to understand, man, when you step on that field, we don't want to hear no excuses. You step on that field, we ain't hearing no excuses. You step on that field, them people who defend Trayvon Diggs can cry me a river. When you step on that field, I don't want to hear nothing about you not healthy. That's why you don't get on that field until you're healthy and you can put your best foot forward. Nisi said it. Diggs should rest. Yes. Like indeed, he ain't coming back next year. They might as well just go ahead and just say, gone, man, just sit this one out, man. Sit it out. It don't make sense for Diggs to come back. It doesn't. It doesn't. He'd be crazy to come back. I wouldn't do it. I'm not coming back until I'm 100%. Lynn said Diggs been wanting out of Dallas. Micah's gone. I agree. Lock and D, anybody would have, I don't want to be insulting. Lock and D, Stevie Wonder could see that when the Cowboys got Savone Revel Jr., knowing what Diggs' contract was, he is the Trayvon Diggs replacement. And that's why if I am Trayvon Diggs, I'm not coming back. I'm not doing it. Sit it out and get yourself 100% healthy. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. I'm getting healthy. Dolores Ennis, what's going on? Nisi said Diggs and Stephen Jones appear to have a good relationship, break up and date somewhere else. Yeah. Because I can tell you, Nisi, Stephen Jones and Jerry was going after this man. They have been going after this man. Woo! Big Rombowski said, I'd love to tell Diggs to sit it out, but then came Blend with getting his cleats get flung into the air. Get his cleats flung into the air and Boo Harrison Jr. put on you. Hey, Rombowski. Hey, that's even more reason. He needs to go sit it out, man. Go sit it out. I mean, what would he really be playing for at this point? I don't know if he's ready for this type of run. I don't know if he's ready for this type of run, man. The Cowboys about to ramp it up. They're about to turn it up. I don't know if he's ready for this type of run. I think it would be better for him to just sit out and get healthy. And whoever going to be here next year, if I'm the Cowboys, I'm rolling with them this year. Big Rombowski, I don't know if we can say fortunately or I don't know if it's fortunately or unfortunately at this time, but Deron Bland is one of ours. Yeah, we've extended Deron Bland. He ain't going nowhere. So love it, like it, or hate it. We got Deron Bland. I don't know if we stuck with him or what, but Deron Bland right now is here. So we got to let Deron play. Kippy, he said, gee, you're right. Diggs shouldn't have felt pressured to come back so soon. I like Diggs, but he makes bad decisions a lot as it pertains to his career. Facts. Well said. But he wanted to prove the Joneses wrong. He wanted to prove them wrong. Nisa said, break up and date someone else. But FYI, Diggs, I don't think you are going to get courted by the Green Bay Packers. I don't either. All right. Let's roll. Let's mosey on over here to get into the show. Appreciate y'all's comments. I'll be reading those as we continue on with listening to Jerry Jones. And let me tell you something, man. I've been trying to tell y'all, man. People have been mad at me about this stuff about Jerry Jones. But I told y'all Jerry Jones been moving different. Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones have been moving different. And ever since Stephen Jones said, my goal is to build the best roster in football. And you know what I'm happy about? I have yet to hear him say, and we built the best roster in football. I'm happy because that means he's still working. And by the things that they have done, you can tell they are still working. The things they are doing, they are still working. I won't be surprised if the Cowboys pick somebody else up off the streets. I won't be surprised. I think they're going to continue to try to improve this team wherever they can. And just watch the intensity get just pushed to 1,000 if they beat the Raiders. If the Cowboys beat the Raiders, they're moving up in that playoff race. And I got a strange feeling by the end of that Eagles game, the Cowboys are going to be at the precipice of the playoffs or a playoff spot. I got a strange feeling the Cowboys could be at the number 8 spot by the time the Eagles game is over because I believe the Cowboys win that game also. But this is the deal with the Cowboys. The Cowboys have got to break this generational curse. Every time the Cowboys are in control of their own future, they don't do what they need to do. And what they need to do against the Raiders is win. They got to take care of business, and it's got to get started with the Raiders. They have got to beat the Raiders. If they beat the Raiders, things are going to start ramping up for the Cowboys. And then when they beat the Eagles, things will start ramping up. And I'm telling you, I think on Thanksgiving, y'all better get y'all dressing and turkey ready. We are about to see an incredible game, I believe, between the Dallas Cowboys and the Kansas City Chiefs on Thanksgiving Day. Cowboys defense should be about 2 weeks settled in with the new pieces. They're going to ramp it up. It's going to be a great game, but it's got to start Monday. They got to beat the Raiders and take care of the part they can take care of. True Texan. Appreciate that super chat. True Texan, you said it, I didn't. He said, Diggs, do not let the exit hit you where the good Lord split you. Good luck, bless you, and goodbye. Yeah, man. It's time for Diggs to get a new start. It truly is. Sub-Zero, appreciate that super chat. Sub-Zero Prime said, I'm excited about what the D can do to finish this year. Sub-Zero Prime. We talked about it last night on Cowboys After Dark. I tell you this. I'm not saying that Matt Eberflus got to wow me on Monday night. But Matt Eberflus got to wow me. Y'all tell me what y'all think. He got to wow me. Bro, when I give you Quentin Williams, and then I give you Logan Wilson, Marshawn Overshown coming back, I understand the back end. I ain't going to trip too hard on you in the back end. But I tell you this, if there is one thing we better do, we better stop the run. We better stop the run. You better wow me. Your play selection, your blitzing. I mean, whatever the case may be, you better wow me. Clifford Hyler says Trayvon Diggs is healthy. He said that's not true. I know exactly what is going on with Diggs. They're not playing him due to he is going to leave. That's probably true too. I think it may be a combination of all of it. I think it may be a combination of all of it. Two things can be true. But I tell you this, I say regardless, let him sit out. Let him sit out, and if I was Diggs, I'd want to sit out. Bro, get yourself 100% healthy. Sit out, man. Davion Wilder says Diggs is what Diggs, it was a good run, my guy. See you next season on another team. And he may fit the New England Patriots perfect. A lot of people saying they run that man system. So Mike Vrabel might call him in. Especially because Diggs don't have no guaranteed money left. So next year the Cowboys will probably trade him to a team, and knowing the Cowboys, they'll do him a favor. They'll do him a favor. They'll probably send him to somebody that he wants to go to. I'm telling you, I won't be surprised if Cowboys do it. Send him somewhere he wants to go. I won't be surprised. What up with you, Richard Owens? Yeah, Whiskey Weenies. I talked about it last night. I definitely want to see Gilmore in town. I do. Jaden Justin, he said, any word on Quandre Diggs? Not yet. But I did hear the Cowboys are interested in him. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Niecy, say it again. I dare Jerry Jones to have Stephen Jones in the press box. That's why the game was going so bad. What you doing with Stephen? I mean, Jerry Jones, what you doing with Stephen A. Smith in the doggone press box? R.T. Holman, salute. Appreciate you. That's my brother. He's a veteran. Appreciate you. Yeah, Stephen White, biggest exchange of players since Jimmy Johnson. Yes, sir. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I heard about this, Rumbowski. I appreciate this fact you dropped. Good thing for Shotty and Dak is the Raiders have the second worst rated offensive line when it comes to run blocking. It's a big reason why Genty has not performed that good so far, given where he was drafted. Yeah. Newhouse family. What's going on? Yeah, we better have that run on lock now. You ain't lying. We better have that run stopping on lock. All right, let's check out Jerry Jones.
In on a Veterans Day Tuesday here on The Fan. Sean and RJ, the boys, have the day off today. We will be taking their place all the way until 10 o'clock before we hand off the baton. But we got a special guest brought to you by the North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Let's go out to the D&M Leasing Hotline to talk to owner and general manager, the man who makes things run in Cowboy land, Jerry Jones. Jerry, good morning. And have you had a chance to talk to Quentin Williams yet?
Of course, right when he got there, we had a good visit, and of course, he was excited, to say the least, about being in Dallas. We were excited to welcome him on at that time, and so it was a really positive thing. I think he's really comfortable being here in Dallas.
Jerry, it's Chris. Long time no talk to. How you been?
Hey, Cliff, it has been a long time. Chris.
Yes.
I got to get my hand. Man, it's good to talk to you.
It's good to talk to you, too, and especially.
I wonder if Jerry even know who he talking to. I wonder if Jerry even know who the heck he talking to. Chris, come on, Jerry. Chris who? Chris Collinsworth? I wonder if Jerry even know who he really talking to.
Coming out for this bye week, I know that you got these two significant trades that happened, and everybody's excited about that. Can you talk about what you think those two guys are going to add to the defense? Is it immediately, or is it something that's going to ramp up, that Eberflus has to work those guys in, or are they going to be able to hit the ground running?
No, they're going to hit the ground running. Certainly, we've got their teammates that are there as well. And so you say, well, is there going to be competition? The answer is there's always competition. But in the case of our linebacker, he'll fit right in. He understands our system, plays it.
Translation. Did y'all hear what Jerry Jones just said? Let me interpret what Jerry Jones just said. When it comes to Logan Wilson, there is no competition. And I don't blame him. There is no competition. I've seen enough of Kenneth Murray Jr. I've seen enough of Jack Sanborn. We have seen enough of this Cowboys linebacking crew. No, we're not competing for this. Because you're the reason why we had to go and get Logan Wilson. You've already had your opportunity. Now, you don't get to bring Logan Wilson into the building and now you start talking, let me compete. No, bro, we brought him in because you were not competing. Jerry just told us there is no competition right here. There is no competition right here, gang. I 1,000%. In this case, I 1,000% agree with Jerry Jones. Y'all tell me what y'all think.
Has been in and out of it his entire career. The main thing is his instincts. He's got the ability to read the play and get up in the gap, which I think will be real additive to our defense. And then, of course, immediately we're going to get the help that we need with that rotation. I'm excited about our three defensive tackles in there and the kind of rotation that we can have. It should be immediately impactful on our defense.
Jerry, what are some conversations that you have had or maybe the coaching staff has had with Demaryion Overshown for him not to do too much? I know a lot of fans are kind of hoping for him to be this savior and superhero at the linebacking position because of what they saw in previous years. What are kind of some of the conversations for him just to play his game?
Appreciate y'all rocking with me today on Let's Talk Cowboys. Newhouse fam. Now you go, hey, Newhouse fam. Now, Newhouse fam, you're going to have to stop clowning. You already hear clowning. Hold on a second. Let me reach out what Newhouse fam said. Clifford Hyler says, I strongly believe the Dallas Cowboys are going to beat the Chiefs. Jerry Jones got even flus. Quinnen Williams, Logan Wilson. No reason for Dallas to get beat Monday or Thanksgiving Day. Now, Clifford Hyler, let me tell you something. A lot of people may not realize this, but Logan Wilson is an accessory piece to Quinnen Williams. He is going to play perfectly off Quinnen Williams in ways that Murray Jr. couldn't play off of anybody. Murray was either overreacting, underreacting, didn't want to get physical. I mean, I don't think he's dumb. I just don't think he has the IQ required to do what they're asking, what they need their linebackers to do. And you think about Demaryion Overshown. Demaryion Overshown, even if he does kind of react, and I think he's been studying so much with Matt Eberflus, he's gonna be also his brain out there on the field. But Demaryion Overshown is so quick, he's got so much speed that even if he missteps, he can recover. These other guys aren't like that. And Logan Wilson, he got some speed too, but he's got IQ. I agree with you. Yeah, Logan's gonna be great. But Newhouse fam, man, now Lisa Word, I hope Lisa ain't listening to this, because Newhouse fam said, matter of fact, just released Tober, we don't need it. Newhouse fam, come on, man, you gotta leave. You gotta leave him alone. You gotta leave Tober alone. Oh, hey, Bass, if you talking about no competition, hey, no competition, Bass. No competition. Nobody gets to compete. Now, that's the reason why I bought him in. We done paid Murray Jr. some money. Nah, bruh, we ain't paying you. I mean, we done paid you, but there'll be no competition. Just, it is what it is. Yeah, Jerry knows Chris Arnold. Chris has talked before. Yeah, I know. I listen to him all the time on the way to Warship, man. He talks and told lots of stories about his time covering the Cowboys. Yeah, I know. he started covering the Cowboys right when Jerry brought in Jimmy came in. Yeah, I hear all his stories all the time on the radio. But I still wonder if Jerry remembers the. I'm not doubting that Jerry know Chris. My question is, Rombowski, does he know his dad, Chris? That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking. Rombowski, he says Arnold isn't the best on radio, but when he gets in the storytelling mode, he's one of the best. Rombowski, I think that's why he's still with 105.3 The Fan. I do. I don't think he's not the guy you got there for football or sports. He's the guy that you got there for. He's that personable guy. He's the guy that people like on the radio. Because I can tell you right now, 105.3, they got some folk who are not very likable at times. So he's one of the guys that people like. So yeah, I've heard a lot of his stories with Jerry. I like him. Lynn. Now, Lynn. Now, you know I love you, but I'm going to tell you something. Lynn, you can't call Kenneth Murray Jr. K9. I don't know where Kenneth Murray got that name, y'all. But we can't call a man who is not playing like a dog K9. We can't do it. We can't do it, Lynn. I can't do it. I can't call this man I can't call this man K9. I'm struggling so hard calling this man K9. That's why I call him Murray Jr. I can't do the K9 because, boy, if you got a name like K9, I think of a police dog chasing and eating up people. And I can't see it live with Murray Jr. I'm calling him Murray Jr. Justin Durham, what's going on? Salute to you too. Lisa said, yeah, Quicksand can grab some bench. Bass, we got to keep him. See, we done paid him now. I want y'all to realize that I don't want to jump the gun too fast. But Jerry and Stephen Jones are maybe entering into their Howie Roseman mode. Because a lot of people don't realize everybody that the Eagles get don't work out. Everybody they get don't work out. The Eagles pay people sometimes, and they wind up not playing. Because they're always trying to get better. If that player ain't working out, well, the Eagles go and get somebody else. And then they wind up letting that player walk at the end of the season. So welcome to the Eagles mode. You're going to try on some players. They're not going to work out, and then you're going to release them at the end of the year. That's where we are on quite a few of these players. The Cowboys spent money on Murray Jr. They're not going to let him hit the streets. They're going to let him be depth. Sanborn, they paid some money for him. I don't think it was a big amount, but the Cowboys could actually think that Sanborn is salvageable. Maybe they'll let him come back in training camp next year. But Murray, I think they may either try to trade or release. But this is what happens when you are in the player acquisition and trying to get better every single week. You're just going to wind up with some players that you paid, and they're not going to play for you. Murray Jr. is one of them. Rodney Evans, appreciate that $4.99 super chat. All right, let's keep rocking. Jerry's about to give us an update on this Marshawn Kneeland thing, and I think it's absolutely incredible what they're doing. Let's go.
Well, I think that he really has had, frankly, an amazing rehab. He was moving around really good during training camp. Of course, he wasn't ready to go, but his involvement in the psychic of the team has been there. He's been very active, moving up and down in practices.
Talking about Agent Zero.
He's, of course, a great, talented player with a lot of overachieving in his makeup. So he's been a part of things out there. He really does know what to do. Now, we all talk about the rust, not having played. Mm-hmm. That's real. But fundamentally, I would expect him to step right in and be familiar with what we're doing. And I know that it's going to be interesting to see how many snaps he gets his first game.
This game is going to be on Monday Night Football, Jerry.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting.
Ironically, this means for the first time in history, the Cowboys will not be playing on a Sunday for 3 consecutive Sundays in the middle of the season. In other words, last game was on a Monday Night Football game, no Sunday the game before, no Sunday this bye weekend, and then no Sunday this coming up weekend. This is like a real unusual circumstance. Is there anything like that ever been around with the Cowboys before? We had that kind of time, or the time in between, or not just bye week, but just time off?
Yeah, well, I think the bye week would get the most focus, and that's not playing at all, which we've just had this weekend. And that was needed in terms of just getting generally healed up. But it does present a unique set of circumstances. But, you know, we've got a history of, with that Thanksgiving Day for years, of playing in short weeks, odd weeks, those kinds of things. And so while it's there, it's real, we enjoy the opportunity to get to play on Monday Night Football.
Jerry, on a sadder note, everybody was stunned with the shocking death of Marshawn Kneeland. Stephen was on the show yesterday with KNC Masterpiece, and he said there was going to be a special tribute, I'm sure, with the Dallas Cowboys when you get back to AT&T Stadium. Can you talk about how you felt when you heard the news and how the reaction has been around the star?
Well, devastated. Just hard to believe the content that was on the other end of the phone. It was in the middle of the night when we all got the news. But while we're talking about it, I do want to say publicly how much I appreciate the national news, the national recognition of him. I thought it was so fitting that on the games Sunday nights, all the Sunday, that they recognize what the loss of Marshawn. We're going to do a special helmet decal for the remainder of the season, and the team leaders are reviewing a lot of design options in terms of what that decal will look like. And then we'll do a pregame warm-up special T-shirt in Vegas and Eagles just to for the team itself to wear during those times. And you know, we all are having to share the sorrow. All are having to share the different ways or different things that come through your mind. It's not like that as a teammate, Marshawn touched everybody in many different ways. The very definition of team is we love each other, we rely on each other. That's the ethos of what a team is about. Everybody expects that this is a rough game. It takes some real mental toughness to play the game, but in fact, there's a lot of love for each other there that is shared in unique ways, and you get to know each other pretty good. And so it's really not a complicated, it's just a multifaceted mental thing that is going through everyone's mind, of course, his teammates, and I know for the fans. Sports emphasizes so many things that we all want to some degree, hang our hat on. But this is a reality check that at the end of the day, the human things of having someone's company on earth, being able to be involved with them for the time that we're here, they're here, all of those things come to mind in times like this.
You know, in a way, their head coach, Shotty's kind of built for
Let me just say, listening to him talk about Marshawn Kneeland, when somebody is dealing with something sometimes, being around people is a great, it's great therapy. And it also becomes a coping mechanism. And the only bad part about, and I don't want to call it a bad part, but this is just the reality of coping mechanisms, is that there will eventually be times where you won't be with the team. And just listening to Jerry, and we're going to hear these stuff, I guarantee you, we're going to hear this stuff from other people, that Kneeland was a certain type of way around the team. You probably never knew. There were probably some people who didn't know he had problems. Probably quite a few people, didn't know how his mom passing affected him. Just not knowing those things, because being around them was helping him. This happens to people a lot when, you have family time, you get around friends, you go to church, you go to your job, you do different things. And those things really help you cope. As a person who counsels people after death, I've talked to, counsel people who remain after loved ones' death. I've actually counseled some people who have dealt with suicide in their immediate family. And, one of the things that I always try to deal with people when they lose somebody is I try to make sure that they can always reach out to them if they need to, or try to make sure that they keep somebody with them early on so that they can have someone to kind of talk to. Because let me tell you the cruel reality. And I don't want to get too heavy on y'all, but I'm just saying, just listening to him, what he's saying, let me tell you the cruel reality about death. Is that when you remain after someone passes that's important in your life, and everybody comes to the wake, and everybody comes to the funeral, they come after the funeral and they're doing this, that, and the other. But the cruel reality is you're eventually going to be by yourself. And that's when it hits you. That's when it hits you. And from what was being said is that I'm realizing now that he wasn't dealing very well with his mom passing. That's kind of what I heard. So I can understand some of these things that they're talking about, man. It's tough. It's tough. And you could tell that Kneeland was using the team, because that's what you should do. You should use, and that's why I say, I guarantee you, he was probably so happy when he was around the team. Because it takes you away from certain things that you don't want to deal with or you're dealing with. So, man, I love what they're doing, man. I love what they're doing. And I hope that they use this. Now they use this as a way to channel this energy. Channel this energy to use it to give them that extra edge now when they step on that football field. Give them that extra edge when they step on that football field. So I absolutely love what they're doing, this thing with Marshawn Kneeland, and I'm pretty sure it's tough on the team. And I'm praying that they don't come out flat. I'm praying they don't come out flat against the Raiders. But I hope that everything that they're doing, man, I hope it really, really gets them revved up. And they have that same energy that Marshawn Kneeland had when he recovered that fumble for a touchdown, got his first touchdown of his football career against the Arizona Cardinals. I hope they have that same energy. But I'm telling you, man, I know exactly what he's talking about. People use these things as coping mechanisms. They really do. They really do. They use it as coping mechanisms. So I'm loving it. I'm loving what they're doing. It sounds like the players are doing a lot of things too. Sounds like the players are doing a lot of things too. They're trying to, and to me, they're doing exactly what you should do. I tell people after funerals, don't be a prisoner of the moment. Use this moment as if there's some people in the family who haven't been talking to one another, haven't forgiven one another, got differences going on, that use this to get your family back together. Let bygones be bygones, and that family really start functioning as a family. Use these things because you never know what someone else is going through. And so everybody helps everybody in this, and then it just strengthens everybody. I'm really hoping the Cowboys can really channel this. Because I think, Jerry is dropping some nuggets here, man. Football is a very mental game. Football is a very mental game. So you got to find ways even in football, you got to find ways to channel, especially when you're talking about a highly competitive sport. You have to find ways to channel things that go on in your life. And you can use that, especially football. You can use that to really help you out there on the field and really to help other people. So I love what the Cowboys are doing. I love what they're doing. I got the hookup said being an outlet for someone to listen means the world. It does. Yeah. It does, man. And that's why I tell people, boy, when people pass, man, I try to be there, but I try to make sure that if I'm not there, that there's somebody who's in your family that can be close to you. So when you hit those moments when no one else is there. Because when my mom died, I still sometimes don't believe that it's true. I still wish sometimes I could pick up the phone and call her about something and let her tell me how stupid I am. My mom was just straight to the point. She'd tell you if you was right or if you was wrong. She didn't care if it was you or somebody else, and she wasn't going to take your side if you wrong. And I love that about her. But I still wish to this day I could call her just so she could tell me, stop being stupid. Still wish I could call her. But I'm telling y'all, man. I tell people all the time as a preacher, I'll never get used to death. I don't care what anyone says. I'll never, ever get used to it because I know it was never meant to be. I'll never get used to it. But I tell people how to defeat it also. Because when you give your life to God through Christ, death has no power over you. You defeated death. And that's how you learn to cope with a lot of things. A lot of things. Yeah. Mose Logan said, yeah, I'm still hurt from losing my little brother last year to gun violence. Yeah, okay. His baby mama took him from me. Oh, man. Prayers for you, Mose Logan. That's tough, brother. That's tough. And I know, man, and I guarantee you, Mose, stuff like this, it helps you, it helps you, and the other things you do, it probably helps you, man. But, boy, people got to understand sometimes, boy, that moment when you get alone, it gets tough. Gets tough. The Big Rumbowski said living all alone is definitely not what he needed. No. I'm sure he struggled with depression away from the team. Yes. But that incident was a manic episode. His mind was thinking. His mind wasn't thinking rationally. Big Gronkowski. Oh, boy. Big Gronkowski, you saying something. That's why I try to get people to keep somebody there. Because, man, I'm going to tell you something, Big Gronkowski. And I know you know this, and people who have dealt with this, man, every now and then, boy, you'll find yourself in a moment of just, oh, man, like you feel like you can't take it. You get in that moment every now and then. So you got to have somebody that you can lean on, man. You do. Lynn, salute as a veteran. Appreciate your service. He says, as a veteran, G, I completely understand. Being around people is an outlet until you by yourself. Woo, poor people don't understand them. People don't understand. I've went, man, as a minister. We went, me and my wife went and sit with this older couple. You know, we bought them some food, you know, the members of our congregation, and the husband had went through a surgery, and we went to visit them. And I'm just always blown away when I visit someone and their response. Because I realized they needed it. For me, I'm just kind of like, it's no big deal. I'm coming to visit you. You know, it's no big deal. But that's not how they take it. They needed it. They needed it. And I'm telling you, man, sometimes, boy, just doing and being there for somebody like that, boy, you just don't, man, sometimes you don't know what it means. You don't know what it means. You never know what somebody is going through. I am so happy with what the Cowboys are doing. I am elated about it. And I hope they carry this past 2 games. I really do. Yeah, Madman Kneeland had a mental issue going. And what he was dealing with, Madman, I don't know the details on his mom, but the way they talk about the way his mom passed, it sounds a little strange. I don't want to overanalyze it, but it sounds a little strange. And he never got over it. He never got over it. Just listening to what they've been saying, he never got over it. All right, let me address a couple of super chats. Then we're gonna listen to the rest of Jerry Jones. Rodney Evans, appreciate that $4.99. True Texan said Chihuahua fits. I appreciate you, True Texan. And then Rodney Evans, he said the Eagles are jumping off sides on the tush push. Oh my gosh. Rodney Evans. The league ought to be ashamed of themselves. The league ought to be ashamed of themselves with the tush push. But, man, I don't know. Sometimes the league falls in love with certain teams. And if you ask me, they start helping them. I'm just telling you. They did this with the Kansas City Chiefs for at least 3 years. They just started helping teams. Tatiana said, just imagine during the bye week, lots of players went home to their family, and he probably felt like he couldn't because of his mom. Whew. I'll tell you, man, if it was me, the bye week would be the worst thing for me. The bye week would be the worst thing for me. I would be praying that somebody might have asked me to come visit or something. It would be the worst thing for me. It really would be. It really would be. Daniel said, I needed that moment last week so bad because it hits close to home for me. Man, prayers up for you, Daniel. I'm telling you, because if you've ever played organized sports, the higher up you go in sports, teams become families. And they become how you deal with things. They become how you deal with things. But the bad, and I'm not saying it's bad as in bad, but the problem sets in when you have to leave that team. The problem sets in when you leave that team. I mean, I think about my upbringing and, going through certain things in my life when my mom and my father got a divorce. And I didn't realize it at the time, but one of the ways that I would deal with it is I would go over to a friend's house if I could, and they thought I was crazy because I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave because I didn't have a family to go home to no more. You cope in different ways. And the problem is sometimes you try to avoid being in that situation where you got to face that reality. And then when you face that reality, sometimes it's tough. It's tough. So, boy, I'm so glad the Cowboys, they are really taking this head on. And I like what they're doing. K-Choice, the Bible is right. You're right. Death, where's your sting? I pray for all those suffering. All of us have the victory. Oh, I talk about it all the time. Yeah, we have the victory, and that's what has gotten me through so many things. I have the victory. Kippy, he said, my mom died 2 years ago. I was depressed for a year. Only prayers, and my daughter kept me. God bless you. God bless you, Kippy. Yeah. Thankfully, you had your daughter. That's what kept your sanity. That's what kept your sanity. I'm telling you, man. I love it. But, man, I'm telling you, I just know this is tough. This is tough. Yeah, his mom passed before the combine. Tatiana. That's tough. You know what, man? Let me say something about what you just said. You said I'm happy with what they're doing too, but Flu says the problem. Let me tell you something else too. Madman. Could you imagine how Marshawn Kneeland was probably feeling about the Cowboys losing too? Man, let me tell you something. If you are a doggone Cowboys player and what the Cowboys have been going through losing, man, you've probably been struggling with that. Let me tell you something. Losing don't help either. That's tough. Yeah, Big Ron Baskin, when they said his mom died of an accidental overdose, my wife said that to me, and I didn't even want to go anywhere on that. I just kind of like, what that mean, and I left it alone. I just left it alone. Mississippi Chusavelle, he said, to all the military, I pray to you who lost 5 members of 2 wars, and even now when I see the number 94, my eyes tear up. We'll always have Kneeland in blue heart. Yes, sir. All right. This is your boy Jerry Jones, guys. I'm sorry to hit you with some of this stuff, but I just know how tough this is for this team, man. This is tough, and I like the way they're handling it. They're handling it head on like a family, and I hope they use some of this energy out there on the field.
Situations like this, he's probably one of the best people you could have as a head coach.
Talking about Brian Shaw now.
Situation. Can you talk about how he's always been about the culture and guys playing for each other, as you mentioned before, and how when the guys get back in this week, how he's going to handle up with things?
Yeah, well, I think that Shotty does have a realism about him because he simply was born into it. He was, in terms of being around anything unique about a football team. But I think we all have unfettered feelings about the people we love, people we work with. And this is just a time when you acknowledge that there's no answers. It makes you want to live life to the fullest. It makes you want to look for the very best in what we have for each other, and in some way make some sense out of these times in terms of what they can mean from helping those that are here on earth right now. So all of those things are very natural, come to mind. But his death is such a national awareness thing that it takes on some of that light when we think about how we go forward. From the standpoint of the team, from the standpoint of going back to work, there's no doubt in my mind that they will do so in memory of what he was all about. He was very unique in his zest for life, and he was very unique in his passion for the game. And, of course, the saddest thing for someone like me is the fact that he's only 24 years old.
Yeah.
And you think about all of the time that we're going to miss him, and he's going to be missed by the people around him. He's just getting started.
Yeah, and speaking about getting started, we know that he scored a touchdown on Monday Night Football, but one of his other great moments was when he got the phone call from the Cowboys. We had Greg Ellis on the show on Sunday, and he was talking about what it was like in the war room, and everybody was asking questions about him. Can you kind of talk about when you made that phone call to Marshawn Kneeland and the fact that he was the guy that you guys wanted because he was versatile and he was such a great guy?
Well, we had a player that we compared him to, DeMarcus Lawrence, that was just is such a great competitor. And so young DeMarcus, there he was, as it turns out, there in the second round, just like DeMarcus was. But the thing that stood out the most was he was from a smaller school, and we all thought, boy, he's going to take that enthusiasm, he's going to take those skills, had tremendous physical skills. But more important than anything, I just can't emphasize enough what a positive influence he was out there. And that's what makes this loss, it's one of the things that make this loss so, if you will, poignant, because what he was about was life and the very things that we admire about it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, a team gives everybody an opportunity, or not opportunity, but everybody evaluates everybody. It's the nature of it. And you're under an evaluation almost from the time you get up until you go to bed. And so in that area over, and why couldn't we have seen maybe that there were issues that we all have dealt with in all of our lives, and that's the mental aspect of our being. And no one gets more attention. No one gets any more scrutiny. No one gets any more critiquing than these guys that play this game. It's a game that you got to give of yourself when you're hurting a little bit, or give of yourself when you're tired, or give of yourself when you don't feel like it. That's what the accomplishment is on any practice, is how'd you do today, because it's a demanding game. Well, he lived that life. He lived it every day, and he lived it around this team that was looking at him every day, lived it around coaching staff that were talking to him about every day. And so it's really something to think about when it ends the way that it's ended. Is you know, how does that happen? And it just goes to show the man upstairs has just got his plan.
Yeah.
Boy, if Jerry has ever spoke the truth, it was right there. Let me give you the other side of this. I want to capitalize on something that Mr. 72 Chevelle is saying right here in Tatiana. So 72 Chevelle says, also us so kind of fans talk so dang dumb about how players play and they see it on social media can hurt them also, not counting on their own problems as well. Shame on us. Now, Miss 72 Chevelle, I get exactly what you're saying. But let me, and I don't want to push back, but let me balance what you're saying. Because Jerry just hit on what I was about to say, but Jerry said it. But you also have to understand that there are certain things that you choose to do in life, and you have to understand the scrutiny that comes with it. There are certain things in life you have to understand what comes with it. If you're going to play football, you have to understand the scrutiny that comes along with it. You're being evaluated by coaches. You're being evaluated by players. You're in competition with players. You're being evaluated by the media. You're being evaluated by the news. You're being evaluated by the opposite team. You're being evaluated on how good you play. You're being evaluated. You have got to understand. You have got to have the right kind of mentality to be in competitive sports or even be in something that you are going to get a lot of scrutiny in. You have to have the right mindset. I tell people this, and this is why I help a lot of people. I was talking about this past Sunday. You are responsible for your mental health. You're responsible for it. It is up to you to do everything to keep your sanity. And if there are certain things that you're doing and you know these things aren't good for you or you can't handle these certain things, well, your life is more important than that thing that is digging at you mentally. Then walk away. See, this is one of those things, 72, you got to accept as a football player. You have to accept that there are going to be Skip Baylesses out there. You have to accept that there are going to be the local Dallas media out there, the Stephen A. Smiths out there, the Colin Cowherds out there, the content creators out there. You got to deal with that because why? That comes with your territory. Jesus learned obedience by the things he endured, came in a human body, and had to endure the criticism of human beings. One of the things in my profession I have to deal with, the fact that I'm a gospel, I'm a preacher of the word of God. I got to deal with the fact that there may be somebody that don't agree with me sometime. I got to deal with the fact that somebody they may get mad at something that I'm preaching sometime because people always think you're preaching on. I got to deal with the fact that if I'm going to stand in front of a group of people and tell them the truth of God, I got to deal with the fact that I'm being critiqued by certain people, that there are just certain things that come along with that territory. See, that's the part of life we got to deal with too. Because you can't control people. And some people just you think about it, you're a football player, and if you're not playing well, and if someone says you're not playing well, that's not, that's their job. And they're not really putting you down. They're just stating a fact. You're not playing well. Big Rombowski, we were laughing today. Big Rombowski sent me something over on X because we were laughing because Colin Cowherd said some of the same things I said last night on live about Michael Parsons. He said some of the exact same things. Michael Parsons heard what Colin Cowherd said, and Michael Parsons goes right to his social media and starts rebutting Colin Cowherd. One of the things you have to learn, and this is why y'all already know, I've already made the rules as far as I go. What have I told y'all over and over and over? The one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to argue with content creators. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it for my own spiritual health. I'm not arguing with content creators. If somebody don't like, if a content creator don't like what I do, well, keep it moving. You got your own platform. And what I'm not going to do is I'm definitely not going to let people catch fame off my name. Now, they can talk about me all they want to, but what I won't be doing is going back and forth trying to get a beef going. And sometimes people got to understand what beef is. Beef is when you can't walk in the streets. People better understand what Biggie Smalls was talking about. Get people who will try to threaten you. I mean, you get people who try to threaten you over content creation. People try to sabotage you over content creation. Don't like the fact that you're successful in a space. Well, you got to accept what comes along with that. But also, you got to make your own rules because you get to control you. And what I know and what I'm not going to do is let people live rent-free in my head. I'm not going to waste my time on people who are jealous or envious or whatever other thing they are. I know what comes along with this, but I also get to make my decisions on how I handle it. And that's why I promise y'all, I don't care what any content creator say about me or media member, whoever. I bet you what you're not going to hear. I can tell you what you're not going to hear. You're not going to hear me going back and forth with them. You're not going to see me going back and forth with them. I protect my spiritual health. And that's why I tell, and even when you think about football players, sometimes football players got to understand, stop going to social media. It probably don't do you a lot of good to be on social media all the time, especially if you're a football player, because you're going to get critiqued. Jerry hit it right on the head. You're going to get critiqued. It's a part of it's a part of what you do. So you got to learn to live with that too. You got to learn to live with that too. And then you got to learn how to handle that too. And so I'm telling you, I know how to handle mine. I know how to handle mine. And that's why I tell people I try to help people how to handle theirs. Understand what you're signing up for. Because I'm going to tell you right now, hate comes with success. Criticism comes with success. Criticism comes with competition. Criticism comes with when you step out into that arena and you want to put yourself in front of folk, put yourself in front of a camera. All of that comes with it. So you got to have a very strong mental state to understand that there's somebody in the comments saying something about you who don't even know you. You can't even take it personal. They see a persona on the screen and they're saying stuff about you. Man, don't even sweat that stuff. You got to learn how not to sweat that stuff, man. I don't understand how people making millions of dollars be so concerned about somebody like a Colin Cowherd saying something about them. Man, I'm laughing all the way to the bank. Because what God has for you, I keep telling people, what God has for you, can't nobody take it away from you. Your mental health. You got to protect it at all costs. There are certain things that happen in life you can't control, but the one thing you can always control is yourself. And when you find yourself in a situation where you can't control yourself, call somebody. You need about 2 or 3 people that you can call whenever you need somebody to talk to help you talk yourself. I got a friend, I got another preacher I call sometimes, and he'll laugh. I say, I need you to talk me off the ledge. I'm not on a literal ledge. Y'all already get it. But I'm on that proverbial mental ledge. Hey, man, I need you to talk me off a ledge. Just listen to what I'm telling you. And what I'm really doing is I'm talking myself off the ledge. And then he's listening and saying this, that, or the other, giving that feedback. But that is what it is. You got to learn how to protect your own mental health. I got the hookup. He said, that's why I thank God every day I'm in my right mind and pray for others also. Yes, I talked about that on Sunday. I got the hookup. The Bible teaches us that we need to keep our minds together so that we can handle any situation. Nisi, she says, men are taught at an early age that he is soft for crying or showing his feelings, which is not okay. Yeah, and some men do teach like that. Some men do teach like that. Now, I don't teach like that. I don't teach like that because, Nisi, I teach people that God cried too. The Bible said Jesus wept. Jesus wept knowing he was going to bring Lazarus back from the dead. God cried too. It's okay for a man to cry for the right reasons. It's okay to even cry when you're emotional. I teach my sons this. I teach other men this. I teach people this. It is okay to cry. It's okay to even be emotional. Just make sure you don't let your emotions drive you. Don't let your emotions control you. It's okay to cry. There are things that hurt our feelings. There are things that bother us. There are things that get to us. But at the end of the day, you also make sure that before you make that next move, you wipe them tears from your eyes. You sit down, you take a breath, you think about rationally what's the next step you need to make, and you always continue to do what's right. Crying is okay, but it's no excuse to do the wrong thing. It's no excuse. So it's okay to even have feelings. Just don't let your feelings drive you. Don't let somebody make you mad and then you go out there and do something stupid. Don't do it. Even the Bible says to be angry but sin not. Tell people all the time, you can be mad at people. It's natural. God got angry. But God doesn't do irrational things through his anger. You still got to be able to think through the anger so you don't do something stupid to somebody or to somebody or yourself. Yeah, Big Ron Bowski, I was just talking about this, like the way Michael Weinbeck and Cowherd on X talk about thin skin. Cowherd wasn't even being critical of Michael, only more at the critics who said Green Bay fleeced Jerry and the Cowboys. Yeah. That's why I'm just telling you, but hey, don't think it don't bother me if somebody says something. Hey, but you know what? I'm not going to let people control me. I'm not, because I control myself. Hey, Nisi, another case in point. Great point. Diggs in Bubba Dub's DMs. Nisi, Trayvon Diggs is too big to be allowing a comedian. Bubba Dub makes some good points, but man, Bubba Dub is a comedian. He's a comedian. Understand that. He capitalizes on certain things. He's capitalized on the Cowboys being bad. So you understand what it is, and you don't even worry about addressing that stuff. You don't even worry about it. The only thing you need to worry about is if it's true. If you hot Cheetos trash, don't get mad at him for saying it. Go out there and change it. Danny, what up? He said they have their eyes on players like scouting for college football players, getting them on our Dallas Cowboys, G, like you were talking about. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, the Cowboys, I hope they take all of this stuff and just channel it into energy. But, hey, I love what they're doing. Shoot, hey, Mills, you better say it. Me personally, he said I've uninstalled Facebook. I have no use for it. It's so toxic. I stopped going. Hey, Mills, it's your mental health. It's your spiritual health. Yeah, it's yours. So, all right, let's keep working this thing. Let's keep working this thing towards football. But again, life is bigger than football, but I also understand football is a part of life. It's a part of life. And that's why I say, with the way Marshawn Kneeland was using football, I'm telling everybody, I guarantee you, he would want them to go on. Go on, man. Keep playing football. I used it. I used it as a coping mechanism. It's one of the greatest things in my life. Use it. Use whatever energy from my death that you can and use it positively and go out there and help people who had problems, who may have been dealing with things like me. Go out there and help those people, and at the same time, continue to play the sport that I love and the sport that continues to bring people together. Like football has actually brought all of us together.
Yeah, mental wellness is something that everybody needs to pay more and more attention to. And it's ironic that we're talking about Marshawn Kneeland and football on Veterans Day. And I know you have some thoughts about veterans. Veterans, by the way, also, we thank you for your service, but we also know veterans also are dealing with some mental wellness situations as well. Jerry, you got any thoughts to say hello to all the people who are veterans listening to the show right now?
Well, first of all, thank you. We all
yes, sir, Mills.
That,
I see you.
We
yes, sir. I
at,
see you.
Not serve, but for your service, we have the life that we have today, and that's a fact. And I know that, for instance, in one area where we honor the Medal of Honor recipients, the Medal of Honor recipient was to basically say, let's take our lives have been about, the Medal of Honor winners, and let's try to really emphasize for really young people what patriotism is and what service for your country is. And that's what today is about, to recognize that. And we all are so appreciative, can't say enough, can't do enough for the people who've sacrificed a lot. And you're right. Without a question, the mental issues that are involved with service and combat for this country are daunting and are so much recognized and need to be recognized.
Jerry, I'll get you out of here with a
Yes. Man, let me tell y'all, Jerry was spitting today. I hadn't heard this, but I'm telling you, Jerry's spitting today. That's why I tell people, man, freedom ain't free. There are a lot of people who have fought and are fighting for this country right now. I tell people all the time, I don't care what anyone say, I wouldn't want to live in another country. I love America, and I appreciate the people who have fought for it, black, white, yellow, and green. I appreciate people who have fought for the freedom for us to have freedom of speech, to be on platforms like this, and to just do the things that we do every single day. Man, I am just so thankful. I got people in my family, my grandfather. I got family members now who have served. R.T. Holman, y'all saw him on here. He served for 6 years over in Afghanistan. And some of y'all have served. And man, I'm just telling y'all, I don't take any of that for granted, because it takes special kind of people to do those type of things. And I salute you all for doing it. And I definitely appreciate the stuff that Jerry has talked about with Marshawn Kneeland and now what he's talking about with the veterans. Bravo. Appreciate it.
Football question. Did you have a chance to take in Monday Night Football with the Eagles and Packers? And then I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about the poison pill that kind of broke over the
we talked about that last night.
Whose idea was this? Is this something that is going on more than we realize? I think it took a lot of people by shock, and kind of what went into that poison pill, and if you don't mind elaborating.
Well, it's obvious. It has its own definition. We didn't want, without consideration, Parsons to be going to a team that we were going to play twice a year. And I think that says it all right there. And last night, of course, we look at it from the standpoint of standings. And candidly, Philadelphia got another win there. And when you're looking at where we rank in the East, that was first and foremost on my mind watching that ball game. But it's boy, what a game it was, and it just goes to show you how close competition is in the NFL, and we've got a tie there with Green Bay, and we need a win to even it up against the Eagles when we play them. But some good football there last night.
Yes, sir. Hey, Jerry, before we always get you out of here, I got to ask you this one question. The boys on KNC were talking about you and your bus, and you were talking about I've been on your bus before, but I'm dying to ride in that helicopter with you one of these days. Maybe one of these days down the road before we get too old, can we get in that helicopter?
Chris, there's nobody I'd rather be on that helicopter than with you, and it does remind me.
Yeah, man. I'm just telling y'all, Jerry. Hey, Jerry. If there's ever been an interview, I say Jerry knocked it out of the park. He knocked it out of the park. Man, let me tell you something. Gwen Bowden said, "Hey, G, you're right. Let no one control you." Big Rob Bowski, boy, let me tell you something. Boy, if you ain't never been right, you right. Big Rob Bowski said, if you think Facebook is toxic, then stay away from X. Boy, you are not lying. You better stay away from X. Man, let me tell you something, Big Rob Bowski. I have considered many days to get off of X. He said, although I do love the 4 or 5 Russian models who follow me on X after every post. He said, I guess I'm just that popular. Rabowski, I tell people all the time, X is a different universe. If you got mental health issues, don't go on X. Don't put yourself on X. It's a different universe. It's the place where people have no respect. Everybody's fighting for respect. Everybody wants to be popular. Everybody's right. You're wrong. I mean, man, I'm telling you, stay clear of X. If you got mental issues, don't you dare get yourself on X. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. I'm telling you, it's bad. Nisa said, Jerry, I love that poison pill. Me too, Nisa. I love it. Tatiana, we're beating the Eagles. Yeah, we're beating the Eagles. We're beating the Eagles. The issue is, though, we got to beat the Raiders. We have got to beat the Raiders. It's got to start with the Raiders. It does. Bass, I appreciate you. You're going to have to let me know who you are on X, because I know some people got different handles so I can follow you back. JG, you ain't never been more real when you said this. JG Real said, X is hell. Boy, you ain't playing. Boy, X is a different type of place, man. I was talking about it. I talked about it this past Sunday in the pulpit, and I said, this social media era is not conducive for mental health. And what I said was the social media era. I'm not talking about ERA. I'm talking about ERROR. This social media era. It's amazing to me that people scream mental health when social media is one of the worst things for your mental health. You're on a like system. You're on a dislike system. You're on a system of you put your thoughts out there. You want everybody to hear what you have to say. And then it's a system of people be critical of you. And then people get all in their feelings sometimes about people being critical of them. Social media is not the place for people who have mental and spiritual health issues. Get yourself off of those platforms and don't feel bad about it. And I'm telling you right now, don't let people make you feel bad about blocking them. I got a few people I'm getting ready to block here in the next few weeks. Don't feel bad about blocking folk. Man, we got people so mentally insane on X that they'll actually condemn you for blocking them. And they'll tell everybody you blocked them so you can get even more continued criticism. What? Boy, you want to talk about a crazy system. Y'all better stay away from X. You got mental issues? I'm just telling you now. Shoot, you better stay away from X. It's a different universe. It's unfiltered. Stop it, Brady. You know I ain't talking about you know I ain't talking about blocking you. Yolanda, you said, I'm trying to figure out if X so bad, why is a preacher on it? It do get crazy because I post cowboy stuff. That's why I'm on it. Now, Yolanda, let me tell you about me. Let me tell you about me. And I'm not saying this like I'm hyping myself up. But I'm a different type of preacher. And I don't mean that in a bad or derogatory way. I'm a different type of preacher. I stay up on culture. I stay up on culture so that I don't let the culture overtake me and control me. I stay up on the culture so I can know what young folks are doing. I can tell young folks the experience with certain things. So I want people to know. And this is one of the reasons why, Yolanda, a lot of people always say I'm so relatable as a preacher, because they're always surprised at how much stuff that I truly know. As far as, I mean, you name it, technology, social media, what's going on in the news, I keep up with all of that because I like to use it. I like to use it in sermons and in teaching. I like to make sure people know I know a lot of the things that you know. So I'm one of these people. I stay up. I really do. I stay up. The Bible, Paul told us, he said, always be aware in your prayers. Well, what he's talking about is always be aware of the times that you're living in so that you know what you ought to be praying about. Always be aware. Be in the world, but not of the world. Be in the world and not of the world. So I try to make sure I stay in there. But I know when to step out too. I know when to step out. Mills said, gee, you stress-free, no grade, still got a hairline. Hey, I'm battling. I'm battling, Mills. Now, if I let it grow out, it's got some gray in there, but it ain't white. I be battling. I know when to step out. And there have been some people that's been trying to sabotage me, but I don't sweat it. I don't sweat it. People try to do stuff just so they can try to bring you out of your character. Don't you ever let nobody make you step out of your character. You stay in your character because they're going to reveal theirs. I always say when people try to do bad things to you, they try to sabotage you, they're revealing their character and they want you to step out of yours. Nah, I'm cool. I'm not worried about it. All right. So, hey, that Jerry Jones thing was powerful. Now, let's listen to Steven. Steven is going to talk a lot more about football. Jerry, I love Jerry on that. Jerry talked
Dallas Cowboys.
Jerry talked mostly about Marshawn Kneeland. Stephen Jones is going to get us back more towards football. And I'm telling y'all, boy, if y'all haven't noticed, man, this dude, Stephen Jones, man, this dude, I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed listening to Stephen Jones this year. Stephen Jones has been talking football this year, if anybody's not been paying attention. This dude has been talking some good football. I mean, you really walk away from Stephen Jones saying, he's making sense this year. Because in times past, man, Stephen Jones would be saying stuff. I mean, Stephen Jones was the one who had a lot of Cowboys fans thinking the salary cap was real. We ain't got the money. Man, we started digging into this stuff and realized, the salary cap ain't even real in the grand scheme of things. You can do what you want to do. You just got to be willing to suffer the consequences of working it the right way. But this year, Stephen Jones has been talking some good football. Let's check out Stephen Jones. His first part, he'll open up about Marshawn Kneeland, but then he's going to take us into football after that. Let's check it out.
Executive Vice President Stephen Jones, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, guys.
I wanted to start by just asking you, what did it mean to you? What do you think it meant to his family and the franchise that NFL teams were holding a moment of silence for Marshawn Kneeland before all of the games yesterday?
Well, obviously, this is very difficult. I can't imagine for his family. And then, of course, you talk about his extended family, which is his teammates and Cowboys organization and, everybody, who cares.
Newhouse fam, Steven sounds like a GM. Jerry, to me, sounds like exactly what he is. Y'all know I love Jerry, but, man, we got to understand what Jerry is, man. Jerry is the face of all the decisions. Jerry is making some of these decisions, but Jerry is not making all these decisions. I'm just telling y'all, man, he not. Do I believe Jerry Jones knew who Quentin Williams was? Yes. Do do I believe that Jerry Jones came to the table and said, "What about Logan Wilson?" Man, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way Jerry came to the table with Logan Wilson. Jerry probably didn't even know who Logan Wilson was. Jerry is just the face of a lot of these decisions, but he's definitely the face of the marketing machine that is the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry likes that. Man, let me tell you something about Jerry. Boy, if you don't believe Jerry has a high tolerance level when it comes to his mental game, boy, Jerry's mental game is off the chart. The criticism this man takes, I don't think I've ever seen anybody like Jerry who actually eats that stuff and loves it. Loves every minute of it. But when it comes to Steven, man, I got to give Steven some credit this year. Man, this dude Steven been talking some serious football. Newhouse fam says Stephen Jones, to be honest, would be a better owner than Jerry. Man, I'm telling you, Newhouse, Steven has been talking some serious football. Bernard says Stephen Jones finally got the salary cap money right. After 30 years, Bernard, Steven's been really doing some things. Bass, I think we're going to look incredible next year. Brian Schottenheimer's going to have a whole year up under his belt. These coaches are going to have a whole year together. The players, the core of the players will be here. They're going to have a lot of time to work together. We're not going to have to go through this doggone monkey play of, yeah, man, we're going to hide everything in training camp, and we're going to keep everything vanilla in the preseason. Stop it. I'm so glad we're not going to have to go through this mess anymore. Cowboys should start firing off on all cylinders. All cylinders. They should start firing. Brian Worley, what up? He said, what up, G? The show is deep. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Appreciate you rocking with me, too. Yeah, the Cowboys, man, they should be hitting on all cylinders. Robert Dudley, hit that like button this Veterans Day. Salute to all branches, Marines, Army, Navy, and Air Force. Let's go, Robert Dudley. Let's go. Yes, sir. Bam, bam. Man, I ain't been practicing, man. I gotta practice some more. I used to be real good at that Jerry accent. I gotta practice some more. Hey, man, let me read these last two comments, then we go get a Steven shows. Rob Bowski said, I've been waiting to judge Stephen Jones once he's in charge. He may sound more irrational by Jerry, but once Catboy's in charge, that's what my uncle called him too, I think Catboy is in charge. I fear he's going to be a penny pinching GM when it comes to players. We're going to see. We're going to see. Nisi said, Jerry gets a 3. I agree. I'm telling you, Nisi, I agree. Nisi said Jerry gets a 3x5 card before the interview that says, talk about the leaves falling. Nisi, let me tell you something. When Jerry is talking football, Jerry is talking what he's talking what he's heard in those meetings. That's what he's talking. But Stephen Jones, I can tell that Stephen Jones is actually talking to Will McClay, Brian Schottenheimer. I mean, you can tell he's talking and within the inner workings of the team. I still believe that Brian Schottenheimer is the Stephen. See, this is the part we're not talking about. We talked about how Jerry hired Matt Eberflus, but I said this last year. I believe Brian Schottenheimer is Stephen Jones' baby. I believe they split this down the middle. Jerry hired Matt. Stephen hired Brian. I think that's what we're watching. What up, Booby D? What it do? It's all you. What's going on? Dominique said, never forget Stephen was the one yapping and complaining when they went and got Dion and he was crying about how much it cost to get him. Never mind the fact they won the Super Bowl. Yeah, I remember that. But I can tell you, Dominique, ever since Stephen said, our goal is to have the best roster in football. Anybody been paying attention to the moves? George Pickens, Solomon Thomas. They thought Kyrie Elam was going to be it, but Kyrie Elam ain't it. Jack Sanborn, not it. I mean, they brought in a plethora of players. James Houston, Jadeveon Clowney. They drafted Donovan Ezeraku, drafted Savone Revel Jr., messed up on the defensive side. What they come back and do, hit us at the trade deadline. Tell me what you want to. Jerry is better at the trade deadline. I definitely was this year better at the trade deadline than Howie Roseman. Jerry and Steven went wheeling and dealing at the trade deadline. Hey, I love what they're doing. Let's check it out.
And loved Marshawn so much. And certainly, whenever we've lost, whenever I've personally been involved in losing somebody, it always, it's good for your heart and soul when people, either observe moments of silence or they send notes or whatever their method is of letting them know you're thinking about you. Then certainly that's how, certainly I'm sure that's to some degree how they feel. I'm not walking in their shoes.
I imagine that you probably heard this news from somebody that you trusted, but you really, really hoped that they were wrong about this one.
Yeah, anytime you get news like that, your heart just obviously it's like a hole going through it, and you just heartbroken. And certainly hoping that wasn't the case. I found out in the middle of the night, so woke up, after finally got a little bit of sleep, woke up and was hoping it was a dream, but unfortunately it wasn't.
Do you always know that those, or more often than not, that those middle of the night calls feels like for everybody in every walk of life, those are almost always bad calls? They're
not good. And you can imagine, the thoughts that go through your mind. And certainly it was one of those calls that was not a good one.
It was interesting I believe it was Thursday, we were talking with Brian Broaddus, and we asked him, are you always, are you most concerned this? And Broaddus was like, you're always concerned. And I'm a dad. I got 3 kids, and I imagine you guys run this as a family business. You guys probably feel like these players are family to you at times too. Do you kind of feel that like you're always concerned about these guys? You're always kind of worried about things involving their personal lives and stuff?
Well, I've had, young kids that are, gone through that time period. My son right now is 26.
I see you, Kippy.
And you certainly worry because I know what I was doing when I was young. And, of course, the call we got on Marshawn's the worst of all. You certainly get other calls that certainly aren't good and are alarming, but certainly one when it's loss of life is just, it's just heartbreaking and tragic and the worst thing you can imagine.
What can or what will y'all do to honor and remember him?
Yeah, those things are in the works. We'll obviously be working closely with his family and his loved ones, and certainly working with his extended family, as I said, Coach Schottenheimer with our team, and working on how we want to do this and what's in the best interest with the family, certainly first and foremost.
And Stephen, also, we got to see him at the first training camp, and we were just caught oh my gosh, this player's great. I love all these things that he can build on. What was it that you saw initially with him that intrigued you about him and where he was in developing as a player?
Well, the biggest thing was, his energy and the way he played the game. Had a big passion and love for the game. He played with a high motor. He loved to get after it. And certainly that jumped off the tape when you watched Marshawn when we were scouting him. I mean, he just jumped off the tape in terms of, how he hustled, how he played the game, his passion for the game. And certainly he was that way as a person and played that way for us. And, we're just going to miss him so much.
Cooper Rush said that Brian Schottenheimer was the right guy for this team, especially in a tragic moment like this. Is that how you view it? And how do you transition back into football? Because, I know that's the game. That's the league. That's the life everyone's chosen, and you have to.
Yeah, you have to be involved. I've gotten, certainly he's leaning on other coaches around the league who've been through this. He has such an amazing network, Coach Schottenheimer does, of people that he grew up with through his father. And certainly he has that. And, at the end of the day, but I do agree with Cooper, just Coach Schottenheimer's so authentic in everything he's about. And it's straight from the heart. There's no BS, not one little bit of BS about Coach Schottenheimer. It's all authentic. It's all real with him. And he's certainly feeling the pain of all our players, and we know all our players will deal differently. Everybody deals with grief in different ways, and you have to respect all ways that people grieve.
And he said, "Who brought back Brandon Hughes?"
Moving a little bit further forward here, I was
trade deadline. I'm talking about this year, not in previous
with
years.
This bye week, obviously, this is a different, unique situation, and kind of coming back into the Stars got to be a little different this week.
Well, it certainly puts everything in perspective. You're playing a game that's work, and that means a lot to a lot of people, but there are things a lot more important than that. And certainly that's, what we're going through this week. And so that'll be first and foremost. But then, we do know, like anything, we've got to get back to work. And, we just want to continue to honor Marshawn and, do everything the very best way we can.
How quickly do you think Quinnen Williams is going to be able to adapt to the system, and what you guys hope from him?
Yeah, we hope. I don't see any reason why it's not right away. We actually asked that.
Why wouldn't he? White Cotton used to be the coach. No, Quinnen Williams comes in and plays immediately. The bye week came at a perfect time, so he had a whole week to kind of look at the playbook, and I'm pretty sure he had some conversations with White Cotton. Nah, Quinnen Williams, we expecting him to play right now.
With our coaching staff, with Coach Schottenheimer, with Coach Eberflus, Coach White Cotton, how big would the learning curve be when we were considering the trade? And they felt it would be negligible, that he should be able to step right in. He understands the defense, what we're trying to get accomplished, and hopefully steps right in and makes a big difference for us.
How, as far as you know, and I realize people still coming into the facility or will come into the facility, how's the health for the team looking, especially with the week off?
Yeah, it's certainly an arrow up in terms of
what up, Rich Lloyd?
The guys that we were going to be, we're going to be getting back. Obviously, starting with Overshone at linebacker there. He's ready to go, and barring something unforeseen, he and Revel and these guys should be ready to hit the ground running. So we're certainly obviously had our mind on some other things, but certainly we'll get back to work.
Could you see a world in which Revel can play against the Raiders, or is that still work in progress? Because I know he's newer to the NFL.
Yeah, we don't want to project that. It's a work in progress, but certainly we'll see how the week goes, and if we think he can help us, he'll be active.
What did you like about Logan Wilson that made y'all want to bring him into this mix?
Well, he's just a savvy linebacker who's played that Mike position.
Football IQ.
Certainly, with Sanborn being hurt, we hadn't had the natural Mike, green dot guy, and that's something that Logan Wilson has done for Cincinnati. We really liked what we saw on tape in terms of his instincts, whereas Overshone and Murray and those guys are more Shamar James. They're more will linebackers, and but it'll be nice. I think he can really help us in there, and we'll let him and Murray get in there and compete, and they'll make each other better.
What have been your thoughts about Shamar James so far?
No, Steven. There is no competition. You can tell us this, but we already know there's no competition. Jerry has already said there is no competition. You don't bring in Logan Wilson to sit behind Murray. You bring in Logan Wilson to start in place of Murray, and then Overshone is going to take that will linebacker position. We already know what it is. I know y'all like y'all monikers of compete every day, but no, there is no competition. We've watched enough of Murray, and it's time for him to sit on the bench.
this year? Because, man, he has made some eye-popping plays along the way.
Sure, he's been outstanding and really doing a great job for us. And
Nisi, you are not lying. Logan is not quicksand, so anyone is better.
I mean, he's going to play a lot of plays, and certainly look forward to him, his arrow going up. But at the same time, it's going to be great to get Overshown back as well. Everybody's seen and felt how he can make a difference in a game, and I know he's excited to get out there.
How do you balance that level of excitement? Because you just referenced it. We've talked about it. Overshown is as fired up of a dude as you are going to find.
Absolutely.
How can you balance, like, hey, I know you're pumped to get back?
See, I think this – hold on, Marie, what you said in a minute here, Rose. Kippy, the Cowboys got a problem at safety, and they don't want to admit it. Y'all do know we've been talking about these safeties, I know, for at least 2 years. Cowboys got a problem at safety. And I think one of the problems at safety is they paid them. I think that's the real problem at safety. And the Cowboys don't want to admit they've been wrong on some of these players. And I think they're reaching on Donovan Wilson and Hooker. I think they're reaching. I don't want safeties who can't play the pass. I don't want safeties like that. I don't want safeties who can only play the run. Well, they're linebackers then. They're undersized linebackers. I don't need undersized linebackers. I need safeties. The Cowboys are getting torched on the back end. Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker, they just haven't been it. They were not it even when Zimmer was here. Yeah, if you want to send them on a blitz, yeah, they do great on that stuff. If you want to include them in some run blitzes, okay, they work pretty good in that stuff. But if you're talking about what teams are pretty much going to do to us, they're going to still try to attack us on the back end, and wide receivers are going to continue to attack us in the seams, well, you're going to need better safety play. I don't think they want to admit that these guys are bad. I don't think they want to admit it because they seem to keep making excuses for them. I just don't think they're good. And I don't think they work in this system. Because at the end of the day, Matt Eberflus, they're going to have to get back to whatever system that Matt Eberflus is trying to run. I'm sure they are. I think they're still going to keep that 5-man front in there because of the tackles that they have. But they're still going to kind of get back to some of this stuff that Matt Eberflus wants to do. Rose, he said they can't compete, G. Ain't no way. Rose, they already been competing. Man, we don't watch Mervin Jr. get, man. Logan coming in the building starting. Man, hey, Robowski, say it, man. Man, Logan Wilson's the best linebacker in the room. Man, Logan Wilson's the best linebacker in the room, but it ain't even close. Man, it's him and Overshown. Overshown got the athleticism and the quickness to react. Logan Wilson got the football IQ. Them other linebackers, they backups now. That's it. That's it. And yeah, Tatiana, they need safety help bad. They don't want to admit it. They do not want to. It's like they're in denial on their safeties. No, the safeties are not. I don't know if they're not good per se. They don't fit this system. Yeah, Rich Lord, this is exactly what I was just talking about. I wonder if Flus will play more 4-3 packages with Murray and Leofile. What do you think? I'm wondering if he's going to play more 4-3 now that he got Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson. I think he's going to work some of that back end. I think they're going to stay with that 5-2. You tell me what you think, Rich Lord. I think they're going to stick with some of that 5-2, but I also think that Flus, now that he got some players, I think Flus going to start trying to work some of his system back in because Flus ain't known for no 5-2. That isn't what Flus is known for. Flus is known for that Tampa 2, 4-3. That's what he's known for. Rush 4, drop 7. I mean, with Quinnen Williams, and I believe it'll be Quinnen and Kenny Clark, they'll probably try to go to some of that too. Man, the Cowboys are paying Oso Digizua, and it's crazy to me. But Also, Diggy Zua, Diggy Zua might go down to about 30 snaps. With that kind of money, that's crazy work. Bad said he done with Hooker and Dono. They're not. They don't work in this system. They don't play the pass well. And again, if we need them up there in the box, I mean, I guess if we got situations where we can play them like that up there in the box, well, to me, they're linebackers. They're not safeties. They're linebackers. No, I don't want that. They need better safeties. And I think they probably need to address this in the offseason. Tatiana, they're saying that Donovan Wilson could maybe come back and play this week. Bass, the Cowboys, yeah. And this is why I think they've settled with Wilson and Hooker. They've settled. I think the Cowboys really need to consider getting a safety this year in this year's draft with those 2 first-round draft picks. Maybe one of them need to be a safety and the other one need to be a cornerback. Because Savon Revel Jr., we already knew he was going to be the Trayvon Diggs replacement. Guys, we may have to just admit on Deron Bland, we got a high-paid slot cornerback that can play inside and outside if we need him. But Deron Bland seems to play extremely well in the slot. Well, go out there and get you another outside cornerback. This may have to do that. It just is what it is. Because there is no way we're paying Trayvon Diggs to come back. Yeah, Lock and D, he said Wilson is not a high safety. He's a box safety. Well, to me, he's a linebacker. We don't need that. We don't need that because teams are going to try to hit us on the back end. And for whatever reason, I just wonder what the conversation is about these safeties because they seem to be really stuck on them. Big Rombowski said Wilson and Hooker are looking to be healthy after the bye week. That's what I've been hearing too. Yeah, we'll be seeing them soon enough. And I feel so bad for Wanye Thomas. Wanye Thomas is getting an opportunity, but these doggone migraines, they are nothing to play with, and he can't even play. I feel so bad for him. And I don't even know I don't know what we extended Marquise Bell for. I'm still missing that too. Don't understand it. Though, Booba D, boy, he said Sanborn's pride is hurt. Man, he probably came here with visions of sugar plums dancing in his head and hadn't worked out.
Out on the field versus, we might have to be a little bit cautious, or do you not view it that way?
I don't really view it that way. I think we let him go be overshown. I mean, that's what he does. And he understands the game of football. He's going to play. He's been ready. If anything, we've had to hold him back. But nothing, I don't think you harness that. Certainly we'll make sure and we'll be observing as the game goes, how his energy levels are, and don't want to put him, at the end of the day, don't want to give him too much. If we feel like he needs to have some sort of pitch count, we'll decide that by the end of the week. But right now, we view it as he's certainly done everything he needs to do to be a player.
Stephen, before the trade deadline, Jerry made the proclamation that these players, the ideas of what he wanted to add here, what you guys wanted to put in here, were going to make immediate solutions to some of the problems that you kind of had defensively. Do you see it that same way, that this should be immediate solutions?
Oh, I think we should, we're very optimistic and think that we will be much better. I mean, I hadn't mentioned him on this call, but getting Hooker back is going to be a big deal. He's the quarterback.
What are the Cowboys looking at, y'all? I guess you're saying that Hooker and Wilson is better than what you have, the alternative. But man, come on, man. Hooker and Wilson, man, them dudes been getting ate up, man. Rose said he don't want to see them. They been getting ate up. JG, bro, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. But if you tell me if you're gonna run a 4-3, this is what me and Rich Lord kind of talking about. If they go back to that 4-3 base from time to time, JG, for real, you tell me who you taking. You got a choice between Kenny Clark, Quentin Williams, and also Diggy Zua. Which two are you taking? Because I already know the two I'm taking. I'm going to use also Diggy Zua, but also going to be the odd man out because I'm just going to keep it a beam with everybody. And this ain't no hate on also Diggy Zua. And if you're talking about inside of that rotation, I'm pretty sure there are people who can show you where Solomon Thomas has probably looked better than also Diggy Zua at times. Solomon Thomas, man, has quietly been a dog for the Cowboys. Solomon Thomas has played really well. I mean, man, Olsen got to step it up. Yeah, 72 Chevelle, I forgot about that. They did talk about that today. They had already said that Thomas is going on the, and actually, yeah, he's going on the injured reserve. Yeah, he's going on the injured reserve. Because I guess they don't count migraines as an actual injury per se. Yeah, hey, JG, people, I've never experienced them, never been a person that experienced stuff like that, but my wife has migraines from time to time, and I've known people who have gone to the emergency room for migraines. And man, you don't want to be out there trying to hit people on the football field with migraines. Woof. No way. And you definitely need to see what's causing those. Yeah, Marvin Mays said, I'm excited to see what our defense is going to look like, and I'm glad we brought back Malik Davis to the practice squad. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, for sure. But again, I also love what Stephen Jones is saying about Demarion Overshown. You know, they're not putting too much expectations on him other than they're just saying he's going to be Demarion Overshown. I remember when he came back early last year in 2024, when he came back and the Cowboys kind of started putting him on a snap count, and he looked extremely good when they started putting him on the snap count. And the way he got hurt was actually a freak accident. It's not like he snapped his knee running to the ball or something. He got rolled up on. That's what happened to Demarion Overshown. He got rolled up on. So he should be fine. I think he'll be good to go.
Back there, and he'll make a big difference. And then you take Overshown and then our new additions. And, like we said, Rebels.
Yeah, Rose, he need to get that checked out, bro.
Because he's, he hadn't played any football till these last couple of weeks. So we'll see with him. But, this is all defensive help. And, it doesn't take anyone watching our games to understand that's where we need help.
You sound, Stephen, like you're ready to go on a run.
Boy, Poopa D just hit us with common sense. He said when the ball is in the air, our safeties ain't never there. Boy, you ain't lying. Hey, Bears, I mentioned it tonight. Man, I can't with Murray, man. I can't call Murray Jr. K9. I can't do it. This dude is anything. He's been anything but a dog. Maybe he's out of position, man. Maybe, like they're saying, like Stephen Jones is saying, that Mike position ain't for him. Maybe that Mike linebacker position ain't for him. Big Robowski said the safeties are there. They're just 10 yards away from where they're supposed to be. Hey, Kippy. Man, I hate to call him dumb. I don't want to call him dumb, Kippy. I'm just gonna say I don't know if the football IQ is there for this system. Kippy said, I said this over and over. He said that dude is football dumb. He said he stands still in the stands. Man, hey, Murray has been terrible, man. Yeah, Sanborn is in a 1-year contract. The Cowboys might see if they might try to bring him back for training camp next year, but man, I think the Cowboys are probably going to address linebacker again in the draft.
The back half of this season right now.
Well, we certainly are always optimistic about our football team and, feel good about the players on our team and feel like we've helped our team not only for this year but for the future. With Quentin Williams, he's a dominant young player in this league, and we feel great about that. And we just feel like with our offense plan that has played for most of the year and if we continue to improve and, getting these guys back can help us the way we think it can, we do think we could get on a run.
I know this is old news to you, but
now,
a lot of us just
it's
heard
funny.
about this weekend.
Guys, it is funny. This is a better 2024 all over again. So for 2026, the Cowboys got to get both sides of this back together. Last year, the defense improved when Cooper Rush was the backup quarterback. This year, the offense has improved, minus the last 2 games has looked pretty bad. We're going to talk about that on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But the offense is much improved, but the defense is not really where it needs to be. But now the defense, we're getting players at the trade deadline that can actually help on defense. So it was the same thing all over again. I think last year at this time, I think we were 3-6. This year, we're a half game better. And here we are again, talking about trying to make this ferocious run at the end. I think the Cowboys can do it. I'm going to continue the series of the road to the playoffs. Unfortunately, after last night, it looks like it's going to have to be the wild cards. Kibby said, last words, I promise Kenneth Murray's name is smarter than him. Man, let me tell you, Kibby, he don't fit. I just don't think he fits the system. This system requires extremely high IQ athletes. I said it at the beginning of the season. The reality is, it needs super studs. Let me tell you something that people don't appreciate about players like Deion Sanders, players like Ray Lewis, players like Reggie White, players like Lawrence Taylor. People don't appreciate this about these players. The Darren Woodsons of the world, the Rod Woodsons of the world. People don't understand something about elite defensive players. They got it up here. Let me tell y'all something about elite defensive players. They're not just athletic freaks. They got it upstairs. They see the game like the Matrix. They see the game within the game. They're doing things out there that they haven't been necessarily trained to do. They're using instincts out there. They're using instincts out there on the field. I'm telling you, they're doing some amazing things, man, and we don't even realize it. And so, in certain systems, man, you got to have guys that's just got it up here. I mean, they're not just basic guys. I mean, they are guys. I mean, you look at a guy like Warren Sapp, and people would automatically look at a guy like Warren Sapp and be like, oh, yeah, he was good because he was this, that, and the other. No, Warren Sapp had it up here. Aaron Donald. He's not just a physical specimen. Aaron Donald got it up here. Great defensive players got it up here, guys. They got the computer to go with the machine. The computer that goes with the motor. And I think one of the things that this defense has absolutely been suffering from this year, the players, for the system that Eberflus wants to run, it requires high IQ. And I'm just telling us. I said this before. I just don't think we want to admit some of this stuff. But some of the players, we've been hearing this stuff from these players for the last 3 years. I'm sorry, but great players can play in multiple systems. Great players can play in multiple systems. They can. I'm not telling you they're going to necessarily be at their peak performance, but they figure out ways to play in multiple systems. They can. They can absolutely do it.
The supposed poison pill in the Micah Parsons deal that would prevent him from being traded to the Eagles in the future. Are those kind of caveats put in a lot of trades where you're like, hey, you can't trade this player to this team without additional compensation?
Yeah, Micah's in our past. He's a Green Bay Packer, and we're concerned about our future. And our future, are the going to be the 53 guys we have on our team when we get ready to play Vegas. So we're fired up about that and not about the past.
Regarding that trade up.
You know what I find to be funny? There are certain media members, and I won't say any names. If you know, you know. It's amazing to me. There are certain media members that for the first 7 weeks of the season, every time Michael Parsons did something great, they made a point to report it so they could continue to talk about how crazy and dumb Jerry Jones is for letting go of Michael Parsons. But Colin Cowherd, I don't know, Big Rombowski, maybe somebody on his show tuned in last night and watched what I was talking about, because what Colin Cowherd talked about today, I talked about it last night. After watching that game, I talked about it last night. People can attest to it. Michael Parsons, for all intents and purposes, the Green Bay Packers are on schedule to have a worse record than they had without him. They were last year at this time, they were 6-3. They're 5-3-1, and they have an insane schedule coming up. And I got news for us. They are going to have a hard time matching the schedule to even get the same amount of wins they got last year. They are going to have a hard time to get to 11 wins. I'm just saying all that to say it's strange to me that they're not reporting on Michael Parsons today. And they've been telling some of us when we've asked them, why will you not let this thing die the way Stephen Jones just said? Why will you not let this thing die? Many of them have said, well, the Cowboys let him go, and if he's going to be playing well, we're going to keep on reporting on it because we want to, and it's our platform, and blah, 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 blah. Hey, again, it's your platform. I can't tell you what to do. I just find it to be strange that none of them are reporting on it today. That's all I'm saying. But I like what Stephen Jones is saying, and I believe that Poobie D would concur. Michael Parsons is in the past. Cowboys are moving on. Stephen Jones is excited about what's going on the field. I am too. But hey, forgive me. But sometimes, man, when I see people doing what these people have been doing, and all of a sudden you go radio silent after last night, I at least want to remind you, we do remember. But we moving on.
Line one more time, though. As you were wrapping things up, were you still happy that you had a few first-round picks still left in the next couple of years, or did you want to spend those for now?
No, those are a big part of the negotiation that we had. Was we obviously think our offense is firing on all cylinders, and we think these 2 first-round picks that we're going to have next year can really help improve our football team even more as we go forward. So it's really important to keep those, and I really feel good about where we've ended up and where our team sits, and we'll assess our team again when before the draft and before free agency and see what we need to do when that time comes. But right now our focus is trying to beat the Raiders.
That's it.
I feel good about our football team, and obviously, there's a lot more things more important than football, and our team's been hit with that square in the eyes, but I'm sure they'll respond, and we've got great leadership, and Coach Schottenheimer and his staff, and Jerry's a tremendous leader when it comes to adversity, and certainly the players on the team, we've got great leadership. So we'll certainly, have some challenges there in terms of some things that we're going to have to work through. But, at the same time, we're excited to go play the Raiders as well. So, that's, part of the circle of life, if you will.
Well, we appreciate that you're able to give.
Yeah. Ready to get back, ready for the Cowboys to get back on the field, guys.
Insight on so many different things from the team.
Ready to get back, ready for the Cowboys to get back on the field. Again, the Cowboys have activated. Big news today. Cowboys have activated Savone Revel Jr. and Demarion Overshown. Let's have a quick look at that over here. Let's have a look at that over here on DallasCowboys.com. Overshown and Revel activated from injured reserve by the Cowboys. Byron Joe DeVee, what's going on? Appreciate that super chat. Parsons did show up last night, 0 sacks. Man, I tell you, I'm feeling real good about what the Cowboys are. And eventually, I don't know though. I don't think we're ever going to be able to put this thing with Michael Parsons behind us in the grand scheme of things. I don't think it's ever going to happen until one of them either wins a Super Bowl or something. Yeah, Baz, I don't know what the Cowboys are doing with Peyton Turner. They're stashing him or something. I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on with Peyton Turner. Yeah, Parsons showed up to illegally tripped. Hey, I can't believe they missed that big Rumbowski. But those referees last night, they missed a couple of things, and I still don't understand. The league has got to do something about the tush push. The Eagles are literally getting away with infraction after infraction every single week. And it's terrible when the technology is so good. They're showing us the fact that they're missing these calls, and the NFL won't say, wait a minute, on that stuff, we got to go back and make that call. That is just crazy. That is absolutely crazy. It doesn't make sense. It's too much technology in the league for the league to be letting that stuff go. Ruby Sweet. It's the same with Luka. Our media makes the point of reporting what he does. Yep. Yeah, Tatiana, yeah, it's over and done with. And again, Poobie D would concur. Poobie D, we talked about this last night. I don't understand Green Bay. I never would have paid Jordan Love. But Poobie D, I am going to say this too. I don't care what they're paying me. You couldn't have convinced me to go play with Jordan Love. Not me. Now maybe somebody else. I know $47 million is a lot of money. But when you start talking about going to Green Bay, cost of living, playing in the cold, and Jordan Love, my quarterback, man, it ain't worth an extra $5 or $7 million, which I already know I'm gonna make up on the back end for being a Dallas Cowboy. Nah, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Shoot, you think it was cold last night? Ain't no way. Jordan Love literally got fleeced. Jordan Love literally fleeced him and Athletes First, fleeced the Green Bay Packers, got one of the highest paid contracts in the league based off of half a season. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I said it when they did it. I'd have never paid Jordan Love. Says here, the loss of Marshawn Kneeland will be felt into the halls of forever. But the Dallas Cowboys must slowly find their way forward as they prepare to visit the Las Vegas Raiders following their bye week, and they'll do so with reinforcements in tow. Demarion Overshown and Savone Revel Jr. I still want us to kind of pump our brakes, at least on this game, on these two individuals. Because man, Savone Revel Jr. hasn't played football in 14 months, hasn't played in the pros yet. I really want the Cowboys to kind of work him back in. Demarion Overshown, I'm pretty sure he's going to be on some kind of snap count too. So, yeah, what is the temporary expectations? I'm really more focused on kind of what Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson are going to bring to the table, because those are immediate impact players. But nevertheless, the Cowboys have brought both of these guys. They've activated them. Wonder Twins activate. Let's see here. It says, for Overshown, it's all about getting back to the peak from demonstrated in his 2024 showing prior to having his knee rolled up on by a defensive lineman, leading to the second torn ACL of his young career. He's been eyeing a return in prime time under the bright lights at Las Vegas, and he gets his wish. Yeah, he's going to be ready to go. Overshown going to be ready to go. Excuse me. He's going to be ready to go. Tatiana says, yes, can't put too much pressure on Overshown and Revel, and especially Revel, but I think Overshown is putting it on himself. Overshown is ready to get out there and ball out. Ball out. Poobie D, touche. He said, when you hold teams to 13, 10, and 16 and lose, it's the quarterback. Yeah. Yeah. And it's not just the quarterback, Poopy D. Some of it is play calling. Some of it is play calling too. Matt LaFleur, and I do believe Matt LaFleur is probably one of the best play callers in this game. But because, Poopy D, I'm not feeling sorry for Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur, from everything I heard, Matt LaFleur was pressuring the Green Bay Packers to put them eggs in the basket of Jordan Love. They were pressuring him to put those eggs. He was pressuring them to put those eggs in the basket. He was riding, so he gonna ride with him and he gonna die with him. And I mean that proverbially, not literally. And at the same time as it pertains to Michael Parsons, I still say, but when you get a player like Michael Parsons and you playing that kind of money, you want some big plays from him. And Poopy D, if we're being honest, we haven't got those big plays from Michael Parsons. I want big plays from Michael Parsons if I'm paying him $47 million. I want big plays. I want strip sack fumbles. I want interceptions. I want him to cause fumbles. Let me just keep it this real, Poopy D. I think two things can be true. I want to see some of the same stuff I'm seeing from DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence on 4.5 sacks, but when you look at the fact of 2 touchdown returns and some of the things he's been doing in Seattle, I want to see that type of stuff. But again, touche, because, Sam Darnold is over there balling, boy. Sam Darnold is over there outplaying Jordan Love on a way lesser contract. Way lesser contract. I agree. Two things can be true. And I don't just blame this on Michael Parsons, but the Green Bay Packers, they were kind of talking about this stuff last night. The defense is good, but where are the big plays by the defense? Where are the turnovers? Where are those things that you see from Super Bowl level defenses? We're not seeing those things. And I can tell you what, I couldn't sleep at night paying a player, whether it's his fault or not. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night paying a player that kind of money, and we're not finding a way to make a difference in a game that's a 3-point game. I want to see him make some kind of play. I really do. All right, let's get this thing, guys. Let's close this thing out. So let's talk about the 5-2 defense the Cowboys are going to be running. I went and pulled up something that I want us to look at in case some of us may not be kind of privy to this five-man front. I want to show us a few things on here and how this 5-man front could be very versatile for the Cowboys. I've heard some of y'all talk about the Cowboys maybe should go to a 3-4 defense. Well, Rich Lloyd, you join in, and any of you others. Hey, Poopa D, I'm with you on this too. Hey, don't get me wrong, I'm with you on this too. I do believe the Cowboys should have got more compensation, Poopa D, but let me tell you what the problem is. It is being reported the Cowboys couldn't get any more compensation. People were not willing to bite on the Michael Parsons deal. And I don't think it's not because Michael Parsons is not, quote unquote, talented. I just think a lot of people were basically thinking, at least how I'm thinking, that we're not paying $47 million for a player that's not ball dominant. He's not a ball dominant player. I mean, that's a lot of money to play for a non-ball dominant player. It's not about Michael Parsons. It's about what you're getting for $47 million a year. Whew. Boy, that's a lot. All right, so let's kind of look at this 4-3 defense. This 5-2 defense, and why this 5-2 defense. And I'm not sure that Matt Eberflus is going to continue to run this, but I think with the way the Cowboys are situated, I think this 5-2 defense is actually going to help the Cowboys. Let's kind of look at a couple of diagrams. I looked up some stuff and I found some diagrams on here that I think is very interesting, that I think y'all will find to be informative. 5-2 defense. So when I think about where the Cowboys are right now, looking at this 5-2 defense, the Cowboys finally got the players to do this. Logan Wilson, let me turn this on real quick. So when you look at this 5-2 defense, and again, y'all chime in, some of y'all who might have played defense before and all those types of things. Ladies too. Ladies, even if you haven't played, you understand some of this stuff. Nisa, you can chime right on in. You and any other lady, Tatiana, y'all can chime on in too. The thing about the 5-2 defense, man, the Cowboys have the personnel. They have, I still want to know whose idea was it for the Cowboys to go to this 5-2 defense? Because it really fits the Dallas Cowboys personnel. When you think about the fact the Cowboys have Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, Oso Digizua, Solomon Thomas, Perion Winfrey. When you figure in that combination, it absolutely fits in perfect. It fits in perfect. In this particular setup, you can play. You can play all three of these defensive tackles that are making this big money. You can play all three of them this year. And I really want the Cowboys to really give this a good look because I really think they ought to consider keeping this if it works. So when you think about now, you're going to have Demarion Overshown at the wheel and you're going to have Logan Wilson at the mic. This looks incredible. Gosh, I wish the Cowboys could have got this earlier. Man, this season would be totally different. Because this is what's been killing the Cowboys. Teams, when the Cowboys were running Matt Eberflus's base 4-3 defense, a lot of these teams got really smart. And again, this started with them doggone Carolina Panthers. They were the ones who truly exploited it. They started doubling, in particular, Kenny Clark. They started doubling Kenny Clark. And then they said, hey, we'll just double Kenny Clark and Oso Digizua. And if you're going to put Sam Williams out there, we'll crack a wide receiver on him, or we'll crack a tight end on Sam Williams. We'll block him out to play. Do the same thing to Dante Fowler. Block him out to play. So teams were literally eating this 4-3 defense up, leaving the gaps wide open. And because Murray is not a true Mike linebacker, and because Sanborn was stuck in the sand, they were leaving these gaps wide open and people were just running right through them. And because Murray is not good in zone coverage, leaving the middle of the field. That's one of the problems with that Tampa 2 defense. You got to be real careful about leaving that middle open. And then don't have the safeties who can converge on the passes. Another thing that I hope the Cowboys fix is will they start stop letting wide receivers get clean breaks off the line of scrimmage. They have got to stop the clean breaks. You have got to stop letting wide receivers, you got to stop the cornerbacks playing 8 yards off and wide receivers just literally running up the seam. And one of the things that they've been killing the Cowboys on, if you'll notice how teams, they'll send a tight end in motion. They'll sit him here. And then they'll send that wide receiver here, and he just runs right up the seam. There's no press anything here. He runs up the seams. We don't have the safeties that have the wheels that can cover the seams. I mean, teams have been killing the Cowboys on basic play design, if anybody's been paying attention. They're killing us on basic play design. But if they were doing some press, that would have helped the line already. But regardless, we were getting burnt, just blew off the ball on this whole setup. But the reason why this 5-2 is so versatile for the Cowboys, let me show you a couple of different ways they can do this. So they can keep Osa, Kenny, and Quinnen. All three of them. And that should be able to stop the run. That in itself should be able to stop the run. Because the one thing the teams won't be able to do anymore, they will not be able to double the tackles. And if they do double the tackles, then that's going to require that team to probably run 12 or 13 personnel. That's going to require them to either run 2 tight ends or 3 tight ends. That's going to require them to run 12 or 13 personnel on the Cowboys. So that will start to work out for the Cowboys. That will work out for the Cowboys, especially now that you're going to have 2 linebackers that can actually cover those gaps so that when these linemen crash down and whatever gap is open, they'll have gap integrity and they'll be able to fill whatever that is right there. So this 5-2 defense is perfect for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the problem with it is when I see Donovan Ezra-Raku on this side, Jadeveon Clowney here, I think the Cowboys got this part of their defense mastered already. The problem is going to come in here. We saw what Harrison Jr. did to Deron Bland. That's one of the reasons why I'm wondering, how will they run this 5-2 and will they mix it up with a 4-3? Deron Bland out here is going to be tough. Deron Bland out here will be absolutely tough. The other side over here, that'll be what? Kalen Carson. Now it's going to be Savon Revel Jr. I'm sure they'll be mixing it up in there. And then, of course, we got our 2 safeties, and I'm afraid how they're going to play. The safety play for this team is an Achilles right now. And I know they're excited about Wilson and Hooker possibly coming back. I'm not excited about it. Because I still think it puts you in a very tough situation, especially when teams, rather than running 13 and 12 personnel, when they start lining up 3 and 4 receivers, they start running 11 personnel on you, or whatever the case may be. They start running like that, then you're in trouble, because now you got to have a safety on one of these wide receivers, or you got to take your tight end out and cover. Take one of the linebackers and make sure they cover a tight end, or make sure they're keeping their eye on the running back out of the backfield. I mean, it should really help them with the run, but I'm still concerned. Now, the other thing that the Cowboys could do in this 5-2 defense, but I don't think we're going to do it, because if you really look at this, the 5-2 defense resembles a 3-4 defense, because rather than having tackles here, you could have these guys kind of playing linebackers. You could kind of have them playing linebackers. You could have linebackers here if you wanted to. You could kind of have that if you wanted to kind of put these guys in some kind of semi-coverage situations. And so you could kind of, because if you look at the 3-4, the 3-4 resembles the 5-2. The only difference is, rather than defensive ends, you got linebackers. So it's versatile. It's versatile how the Cowboys could do it, but I seriously doubt that they'll be. I seriously doubt they'll even be trying to do anything like that. But my issue is, I wonder how much will Flus, now that Flus has Quinnen Williams, and now that he'll have Logan Wilson, they'll probably line up Demarion Overshown here, and they'll probably line up, because they paid Murray Jr. the money. Let's not call him K9 anymore. They'll probably have Murray right here. I could see the Cowboys running this too. Maybe Murray will play better in a 3-4 with Logan Wilson having the mic. Overshown being the wheel. And then you still have you have Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, Jadeveon Clowney, and Donovan Ezra-Raku here. I'm just really wondering how the Cowboys are going to do a lot of this stuff. Let's kind of read a couple things, and I'm going to come back to the comments. It says here, let's kind of look at this. It says, this formation features a loaded defensive front to stop the run. It's more popular in youth football, middle school football, and high school football, where running is the primary offensive strategy and quarterbacks aren't fully developed or talented enough to beat defenses through the air. Now, let me tell you why I believe the Cowboys' season would have been different had they been running this earlier and had they had the personnel to run it, because I don't think they necessarily had the personnel to run it. But there are some teams that we have played and the quarterback play was only good because it was us. And we probably would have beat those teams had we been able to make them one-dimensional. The Chicago Bears come to mind. We couldn't make them one-dimensional. I believe we beat the Carolina Panthers. Had we had the personnel to run a 5-2, I think we beat the Carolina Panthers. I definitely think we would have beat the Denver Broncos on the road had we been able to stop the run. And we would have made Bo Nix more one-dimensional, especially with the pass rusher that Quinnen Williams is also up the middle. I believe the Cowboys, had they had this personnel they have right now, I think it's the difference in probably 2 to 3 games. I think we're having a different conversation. I just wish they could have found. I just wish they could have found a way to do this earlier. I just wish they could have found a way to do this earlier, but it is what it is. But again, just reading a little bit more about this 5-2 defense, it says in this alignment, linebackers need to be strong tacklers. See, we wasn't situated to do this because we didn't have the strong tacklers. And even when we tried to do it last week, it helped us, but we don't have strong tacklers. But now we will have some strong tacklers. It says if the back gets through the line of scrimmage, there are only 2 linebackers are stopping him from breaking away. Like the 4-4 defense, there's pressure on the corners and the safeties to protect against these big pass plays. That is another place where we have been absolutely weak, is in the safety position and the tackling in the cornerback room. Even though there are 4 defensive backs in the secondary, 1 less linebacker makes the defense more vulnerable through the air. Yeah. And that's kind of what we saw. Deron Bland getting put in a very compromising situation because, man, he got ate up against Harrison Jr. All right, let's go to the comments. I want to hear what y'all say about this 5-2 defense. The Big Rombowski said the 5-2 Oklahoma was developed in the 40s by Wilkerson at OU. It's a bit outdated, yeah. It's a bit outdated to go up against these modern-day passing attacks. Now, Rombowski, that's why I'm asking the question. And that's where me and Rich Lloyd are going back and forth on, with the same mindset of, but now that you got the players that can probably run Fluce's system, because I just don't believe Fluce is going to stay with the 5-2. Because if Fluce stays with the 5-2, it's no longer Fluce's system. If you stay with the 5-2, you might as well go get you another defensive coordinator. That ain't Fluce's system. That ain't Fluce's system. That is a system that was put in place because the Cowboys were struggling so bad to stop the run. I'm wondering now with Quinnen Williams, will they go back to doing some more of the Fluce system? Because the reality is that if this is what you want to run is the Fluce system, well, now you're going to have to start running the Fluce system. And I'm just telling us, Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson fits the Matt Eberflus system perfect. They're still going to be hurting on that in the defensive back room because Fluce's system requires high IQ cornerbacks and high IQ safeties, and I just don't think our safeties are built to still kind of play. So we'll see how this looks. I think it's going to look better regardless because the players are better. I think it's going to look better. The question is how much better. But again, we're going to start focusing as we go forward here over the next 3 days. I'm going to turn my attention to the Cowboys offense because that's where I'm alarmed. I'm alarmed at the Cowboys offense that has been anything but productive over the last 2 games. They have averaged 13 points in 2 games. Now, you can tell me all you want to about Denver, and I might start agreeing with you. But when you start talking to me about the doggone Arizona Cardinals, I ain't agreeing with you. There is no way the Arizona Cardinals should have held the Dallas Cowboys offense to a touchdown in the fourth quarter. That is just bona fide loony bin stuff. Brian Schottenheimer, get your butt out of that defensive room. I don't mind you glancing in there and see what they're doing and looking at the game plan, but get back in that doggone offensive room. 72 Savelle, he said, for this defense, you have to have good cornerbacks and safety. Straight up. Straight up. Straight up, Mr. 72. Straight up. He said, and defensive ends holding the outside edges closed off, plus not counting teams who use 2 tight ends, you have to have good to great linebackers and backsides. Straight up. And it's killing us. Yeah, Bass, he said the linebackers set the pace and communicates to the safeties. Logan will be better for us. We got better overnight. Bam Bam, he said, got a feeling we might see a defensive end get an interception out of this formation. Yeah, I can see it being Jadeveon Clowney. Doomsday said G and Caleb Downs would fix that wide receiver up the seam problem. Yeah, I want to see if the Cowboys go out there and get a safety. But it seems like to me, they're almost saying to me they're willing to ride or die with these safeties. It seems like that's what they're willing to do. Big Run Basket said, I don't know. The 5-2 invites teams to pass the ball. The secondary is the worst part of this defense. Yeah, that's why I'm wondering, Big Run Basket. Now that you got Quentin Williams, I think they might move back to that four down lineman. I think they may move back to it. It just makes sense. Yeah, Bass said, I like the 4-3. I think that's what they're going to move back to. Yeah. Run Basket said, I say just run Gainesville High School 4. Run the 4-6. I see you. Nate Smith, he said, we should have tried to get another maybe 6th or 7th round draft pick for Parsons trade. Man, let me tell you something. I think the Miles Jack trade was the model. But let me just balance this out. I'm just telling you what I heard. The Green Bay offer was the best they could get. Green Bay was the best they could get because they said the Cowboys actually went to the Jets first and tried to get Quentin Williams. And at that point in time, the Jets said no. I think if the Jets had looked back and knew what they were going to do, we might could have got the Jets for 4 players. Man, we probably could have got the Jets for 2 first-round draft picks. We probably could have got Quentin Williams and Breece Hall. And they probably would have threw in, if we gave him Mozzie, and they probably would have threw in Quentin Williams' brother. Doomsday said, yeah, G, Savon Revel Jr. is a Flus corner. He was a better zone corner in college than man. Yeah, what's the name made that point? Mills 36 made that point. Mr. 72 Chevelle said Flus will solely go back to the zone. I think so, too. I think it really probably makes sense because I just don't think we're good enough to that 5-2, it's a liability. It's probably a liability for the Cowboys. It'll be good to stop the run. Danny said, Jill just had my dinner. Just had a pepperoni pizza for dinner. Cowboys Nation, I just had a pepperoni pizza. Hey, I wish you could send me a slice. Rombowski, let me tell you something. I agree with you, but let me tell you, let me go back to Nate Newton. Because I do believe Nate Newton was right about this. I think one of the problems the Cowboys have, or had, was trying to hide everything until the season started. The Cowboys tried to start implementing a system the first game of the season. You can't do that. They won't make this mistake next year. They will be running this system. They will be running this system from the moment training camp starts. They won't be doing this mess. Rombowski said time will tell, but I still believe the defensive personnel. Yeah, I agree. Now, Jay Boyd, I don't think they're going to get Rex Ryan. They're going to stick with Flus. Unless Flus come out here and absolutely wet the bed over the next 4 games, he is here to stay. He is here to stay. Yeah, I think they tried to get him, and the Jets said no. Teams were asking about Quentin Williams' brother, and they said no. And then they turned around and benched him the next week. Make it make sense. Rich Lloyd said they will run some of what you said, G. The 5-2 look like with more linebackers. Yeah, I'm telling you, they'll have to do something with it, because that doggone 5-2 is a liability for this team, because the back end is so bad. And again, I mean, I think they'll be better in the run, but they're still going to have to worry about what they're going to do in the passing game. Jason Lamb said Cowboys have always struggled with the Panthers, Cardinals, and Broncos. Yeah, and I want Matt Eberflus. I mean, I want Brian Schottenheimer, because I'll be honest with you, I'm just more concerned about the offense regressing the way it has. I don't want to see this in week 3. If the Cowboys get held to 13 points again, there's a problem. I mean, we already knew the defense was bad, but the offense, that's a problem. Yeah, Rumbowski said Flus clearly isn't communicating for a group of secondary back and linebackers who have been playing this game all their life to not understand where they're supposed to be in the zone. Boy, I don't know what it is, but they are struggling. Yeah, strong D-line. I like what you're saying there, too. R.A. Went Music. A strong D-line makes up for a weak secondary. Now, R.A., I'll tell you how they can help themselves. If they start getting some jams on the line of scrimmage. Give the defensive line, as Nate Newton said, an extra half step. Man, I'm telling you, Nate, man, talks some very common sense football. Nate said that if you will get a jam on those wide receivers, you give the defensive line an extra half a second to get a step on that quarterback. And then if they get that extra half a step, they can move that quarterback off his mark. You've already got the wide receivers off their mark, and everything starts to working. Man, Cowboys be giving teams clean releases off the line. Got to stop doing that. Yeah, Doomsday. Yeah, G, that 5-2 defense in the passing game, we don't have a secondary with the speed to run that down in and down out. You're right. And then what will happen is teams will get smart and they'll pass the ball on first downs. Exactly. I think they're going to go back to the 4-3. I do. I think they're going to go to the 4-3. I think they'll do 5-2, maybe they'll try to mix it in maybe on some short down and distances, like maybe it's a 3rd and 2. Maybe they'll try to slip it in. Yeah, Tatiana, offense looked bad the past 2 games. Not sure what happened. I think what happened is they got that Brian Schottenheimer got his butt in that defensive room. At least that's what I'm going to give him. But again, Big Rombowski talked about this, and I agree. I think that Brian, people caught on to him. See, Brian got a little too arrogant, if you ask me. Yeah, I like big backs. Power run game. Oh, is that what you like? Okay, we know how to stop that. We're gonna crash down through the A gaps. We're gonna crash down there right through the middle. We're gonna get penetration, and we're going to stop you before you get that run game going. And because your defense is so bad, we're gonna get up on you 7-0, 10-0, and then you're not going to have any choice but to come out of that run game. And then when you try to go to the pass game, we're going to go everything. We're going to cover up everything in that cloud coverage. We're going to send our guys, your outside tackles. They're not good. We're going to send that pass rush. Dak Prescott's going to have to get the ball quick. And because he doesn't have the play action working, he can't let plays develop. He can't get anything deep, can't get anything intermediate. And Dak Prescott's going to go for the quick pass. And we're going to keep everything in front of us in the storied ball game. Brian's got to get better. Brian's got to get better. He's got to start running some deep crosses. Got to get more motion in his game. He's got to develop an outside run game. And not no wide receivers running jet sweeps. I'm so tired of jet sweeps. The Cowboys have gotten me absolutely sick of that play. Rich Lloyd said the last 10 games these teams have played each other, they're 5-5 against each other. Hey, I can tell you now, Pete Carroll, he knows Brian Schottenheimer too. Yep. Bass, they got to know them gaps to fill. All right. Man, I am excited. Bass, let me tell you something. They better not let Gino. I don't want to hear no Gino talking about they wrote me off and I didn't write back against the Cowboys. I'm tired of people using our Dallas Cowboys as a get-right game. It's time for us to get right, Cowboys. What up, Richard? Shotty better come out on super aggressive. I agree. Super aggressive for the next 8 games and stop being scared. 100% agree. Tatiana, I don't think he's being aggressive enough. I don't care what the defense looks like now. It's time to go for broke on this thing. Lock and D, if we can get these next 2 wins. And I think the key is the Raiders. You gotta beat the Raiders on the road, because I believe you beat Philly at home. Big Rumpowski said the NFL's a copycat league. So if you're the number 1 offense, if one team figures out how to stop you, the others copy. Yes, sir. Rinse and repeat. Yeah, Mr. 72. Gino is 7-6 against the Cowboys. He better be 8-6 after this week. Yeah, I believe we missed Van Der Esch. Unfortunately, couldn't stay healthy. Lock and D, he's not a good quarterback, and he better not come in here and light the Cowboys up. Tatiana, I agree. I'm not overlooking any games. Danny, I agree. He got to stay out of that defensive room. Ron says, you said it right, G. Shotty talks too much. Yeah, he shouldn't have been bragging. Yeah, I like big back power run. Man, be quiet. You got to develop an outside run game, too. If you're going to be multiple, be multiple. Be able to do it all kinds of ways, bro. No, 72. Boy, Genty better not have a breakout game against us. Yeah, Tyrone, what up? He said the defense needs to play more aggressive than conservative. Yeah, I agree. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. We will be back tomorrow. And we had such a good time on Cowboys After Dark on Monday night. We'll get me some coffee together. We're going to be doing Cowboys After Dark again on Thursday night. 20,000 subscribers. We are marching on our way to 100,000. And we want to create a community that Cowboy fans can come. And not only for it to be a safe place, but to be a great place where they can share their thoughts about the Dallas Cowboys. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Give yourselves a hand. Best chat on YouTube. Let's go. Until the next time, DC4L. God bless. Prayers up for the Kneeland family. Salute to all you veterans. Until the next time, let's talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.
Yo, G, bless him, bless him, bless him.